We're gonna go into the main live screen and see how that plays out. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's try this. Woo! Hey, it's me. Hey, I'm back to my clean lit room. All right. Hi, everyone. How's chat? How's life? Chat, tell me how life is. Back to school if you're back to school, people, but you're probably not watching the stream if you're at school. Oops, I probably should have done this at a different time. Where can we download the rock versions of the NSR tracks? They should be on the full album. Yeah? I'm pretty sure they're on the full album. What rock songs are you referring to? Because the whole soundtrack is out on all stores, and all the rock songs are there. Hey, gamers. Oh, look at all the gamers. Hey, what up? Lars, good to see you. I'm at work streaming. Hell yeah. Noob Sage, thank you so much for the follow, man. Appreciate it. I learned from my mistakes last time to minimize the amount of time the follow shows on the screen, because I would just get like 10 follows in a row and then just have to wait like 10 seconds per follow. Oh my god. Oh, thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Thanks, man. I forfeit my education for SAYU. Good. Me too. Except the opposite is my education became SAYU. So maybe your education should be music, so one day you can write music like SAYU. And then your world is just a perfect harmony of work and fun. Brain play. What up? I'm just passing time until work tonight. There you go. Well, I am hopefully a entertaining time passer of things. I don't know how many of you guys are musicians, or just, you know, I'm curious actually who's here so far, who's like a musician and wants to learn production stuff, or people who love SR and just wants to see like, how the fuck did you do this, James? Who knows? And I do believe Nikki Simmons, the singer and voice actor of SAYU, is coming on chat soon at some point, maybe? I told her about it, and she's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna eat some cake bread. I'm not gonna start that cake bread discussion. I had another stream last time, I think it was last week, where we got into an argument about cake. Not going there. Not today, gamers. Mermaid email gives me life foo. Hell yeah. Me too, Bob Noodle, me too. It's not 11:30 yet. My fares are still not in order. No, I'm starting the production at 11:30. I never said I wasn't going to start earlier to just talk about life, all right? Also, by the way, Bald Falk is the composer of one of the composers for No Straight Roads and other great things in life. Go follow him. Even though Falk will probably... Falk, do you ever tweet? Do you ever stream? I feel like you should stream. Anyways, he composes for a lot of good music. Just go follow him anyway. Fuck it. I think Subtonic is the best box. I think as an overall experience of No Straight Roads, I 100% agree. You say, okay, there you go. People love DJ Max, right? Especially in America, right? But SAYU is great too, design-wise, music-wise. Yeah, good. I hope so. I hope you. I mean, if you want, people can be in the chat and be like, "Oh, SAYU's cool and all, but the music kind of sucks." like, I got bad news for you, buddy. This is the wrong stream for you. Yinu is the best boss. Yo, so Yinu was the first song Yinu was like the first level that as a team we designed for No Straight Roads, and that was the first song I ever wrote for the game. Even though I think I said in our stream, it was the first song and technically one of the last songs I worked on, because I started 3 years ago, and usually when you work on something 3 years ago, you have to update it for 2020 at some point, just because of game design reasons or even music reasons, right? So Yinu is a good boss because we put a lot of time and effort into that, like from the beginning of development. Oh yeah, there we go. I am gonna do my best to be hydrated as possible. I got tea in one hand. I got water in the other hand, baby. I'm hydrated as fuck. I need a hydrate bot, honestly. I need a hydrate bot. Or just so in the chat, just be like, James, don't forget to take a drink of water. That's right. Thanks, Mod. Mod, give me some water. Mod, come to my room and send me water. You did a great job for Yunu's music. I feel so badass, and you feel how desired the boss battle is. Yeah, it's true. Well, so Bald Falk in the chat wrote the original piece, and then I was like, damn, dude, are you Kingdom Hearts now? And he's like, yeah, I've always been. Tight. And so a lot of it goes to him because he's the one who made the original piece of music. He's the one who made Pachelbel Canon D, whatever fuck that song is. I mean, I know we need to do that GEC talk. We still gotta do the composer talk, but oops. I'm digging the family trauma. Yeah, I love family trauma. Voice acting is a bit scuffed though. It happens. Agree with the voice acting. It's a little nasally. The Vine song. The beginning song is hilarious and tragic. Yeah, it is what it is. But that, to be fair though, I think it just takes time to get used to it. Like, I'll be totally transparent. It took me a little bit to get used, because I'm used to Western voice actors, and then just when I hear things in English, right, I have an expectation as an American, because all I think is American. The world revolves around us, right, guys? And so, but over time, I was like, oh no, like, this is actually really good. It took me a second, but there's actually a lot of charm going on here. I also don't have a concrete favorite. It's based on what's most catchy to me at the moment. Good. I think that, honestly, that's a pretty reasonable response. There's a lot of, like, just the soundtrack is really fucking dope. Like, there are some days where I'm like, I want to listen to fuck fiction, and there's other days I'm like, yo, I want to listen to Andy Tunstall crush every guitar song ever, or Falk being like, hey, I'm just a fire composer and I can make anything in 3 hours on no sleep. Hell yeah, Nightbot, let's go. Thank you, Nightbot. Thank you, Mod. Dia Doodles, how you doing? Good to see you. I think I remember you from last time because I remember saying your name. Dia Doodles. Oh, man. It's Malay voice act. Yeah, it's Malay voice acting. Which, fun fact, I didn't even know that was actually a term, like Malay. I always think it was Malaysian, but yeah. Being cultural now. I love it. I love 2020. We're getting so cultural now. It's great. By the way, just out of curiosity, can people hear this? Not that I'm gonna play that. I'm just, once again, curious if you can hear it. Cool. Great. Music production. Oh, all right. We're gonna turn that off. But so at this point, yeah, it's 11:30. I guess we can wait a few more minutes to see what's going on. But I'll just start getting the train rolling, baby. BMO Ranger, thank you for the follow, man. Thank you for showing off GameCube. All right, let's get cracking. Let's see if this works. I hope it works. I'm so scared. I'm so scared to change seeds in OBS, because it's just like nothing ever works right. All right, fingers crossed. All right, it works. Hey, and this time too, now for people who are music producers and want to be a producer about this, I can actually show you the things in other windows. So if I'm like, yo, James, how would you make that sick sound? I'll be like, hey, dude, let me show you in this thing called Syrup. And then be like, wait for it. Bam. Hey, there it is, right? That's really important. Hell yeah. All right. I am a transition master because I've spent 7 years of my life DJing. I'm still really not. I'm okay at DJing. I'm not great. There are some crazy good DJs. All right, let's get cracking. So, welcome to the project session of SAYU. When's the last time you DJ'd? Oh man, I DJ'd like in public. MacFest. MacFest was the last time I DJ'd, which would have been this year in January, the beginning of January 2020, which is the most depressing thing I can think of. Yeah, man, I had so many cool shows coming up this year. Every fucking producer or musician that plans like, man, this is the worst year for the things to happen. It's true though. Like, so many friends of mine had cool things and I had cool things, and it's just like gone, or at least delayed till next year, if not longer. All right, back to this. SAYU, hooray! This is the project session of SAYU. So for those of you who don't know, this is called a DAW, a DAW. I just spelled what DAW was. A digital audio workstation. And these boys can make music, and this is how I make music on the computer. So this is SAYU. This is SAYU inside her body. If someone opened up her body, like in ReZero, spoilers, it would be this. All right, let's get cracking. By the way, as I'm watching ReZero, that shit is wild. Anyways, if I play this, that was right. This is so a fun little fact is, before I start the song for real is like, that little intro was supposed to be like an intro to the beginning of the song. that I never actually expand upon. So a very common thing when you're making music sessions or projects is like you'll just have your ideas all over the place. And I think, do I have any other ideas lying around? Yeah, I have some ideas here and here and here. But anyways, this was like an intro sequence that I never expand upon. You know, that's a good question. Yeah, it's gonna be like some kind of like arpeggio thing, and then it kind of like fade in like meow, and then it goes boom, beginning of the song that you know. But we're not doing that because I did not need an intro based on what the game needed. Phrasing pains you. I'm sorry. I don't know. Is it SAYU or SAYU? I think it's SAYU. If I speak like a Japanese person, which is I think the pronunciation of it, I think it's SAYU. SAYU. So that's correct. It's not SAYU. I believe that is the correct answer. All right. So let's talk about SAYU a second. So, you know, for those of you who were here last week for when I talked about 1010 and how I made that song, you know, a lot of the fundamentals apply here. You know, I write a lot of the songs the same way, at least structurally speaking. So that's the whole boy. You have your phase 1, phase 2, your transitions, phase 3, phase 4, blah, 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 blah. Right? If you play No Straight Roads, you know what I'm talking about. You know, phases and then transitions into the next phase. And each phase has different level mechanic that changes up the gameplay. Woo! Video games. So this is how I start every song. I always have all my sections predefined before I start anything. So I made sure that when, like, in a blank session, like, we're a new session, new song, new everything, I put the markers down, like, this is that thing versus this thing and that thing. Uh-oh, someone being rude in the room in the stream? Uh-oh. Oh, boy, it's fine. All right. But so, yeah. Basically, this song is supposed to be, like, a really poppy song. Like, for the bass versions of No Straight Roads, my approach was, how can I make something feel electronic but yet be poppy? Because I don't want this to be, as someone in YouTube eloquently said, the bass version is EDM and the EDM version is EDM. And it's like, yeah, I gotta kind of find a way to make it a little poppy sounding, even if it's technically EDM sounding, right? So that's my approach to the song, was kind of writing simplistically. So the chords here, the first phase kind of demonstrates that, and I'll play right now as is. Sound so much. By the way, how are the levels? I assume you can hear the audio. Go away, back up. I don't need you. No one failed here. You want to make your mic louder and the DAW quieter. My mic louder? Really? God, you guys are so picky. All right, make my mic louder. Make the DAW quieter. Man, you guys are just the pickiest bunch. All right, we're going to go down a few decibels. Cool. About, yeah, okay. I'll do that a little bit. Cool. Is this better now? Can you hear me a little better? I was listening to this song and you're streaming it. Oh my God. Hey, that link is broken, by the way. Yeah. Hey, Rizzy, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Yeah. Lisa Elavisa mod, you have to find a way to spread out the links, I think. Or just do separate links. But we'll fix that. You want to be famous? Buy followers, primes, and big followers on big.follow.com. I don't know why I'm sounding like a... You want to be famous, kid? Frank Hunt, thank you so much for the follow. That's right. Follow my socials. Twitter.com, Instagram.com/JamesLandino, Instagram.com, Discord.com. Good. I know, right? Brain play. Me too, man. Me too. But anyway, so let's talk about that for a second. Oh, boy. Belle Annalise, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Let's go. All right, let's talk about SAYU for a second. So, kind of the visual of SAYU is that I need to make something that feels aquatic, but digital, right? Because we're talking about digital idols in computers, like technology, but it still has to have that sense of like vastness and ambience and that feeling of like kind of like a softness to it. Because it's like when I think of softness, or when I think of aquatics, I think of a little softness, a little bit more like a shimmer, right? So that's why one of the first sounds I made for this song was that like ultra delayed pad sound. Not that one. I actually layered it. We'll get to that. This one. That one. And all that's done is with Serum's good old delay and then reverb. See, now I can show you people how you made this. Bro, just go to SAYU theme last week and it was very cool. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate it, man. Bop Noodle. What was your inspiration for this song? So like I was saying, so like, I think in visuals, right? So when I saw the character designs and the level design and the art for this game or for this level, I was like, okay, here's my visuals. We got technology and we have aquatics. And so to me, I'm thinking about what kind of sounds come to mind. What feeling, what musical feeling comes to mind. And so this was the first sound I made. That. Because you want the thing of technology, right? Because this is the kind of big saw pad, big like in your face, boom, here's a chord, and that shit just rings and just like a vast ocean, right? So I want to make something that feels large. Speaking of aquatics, James Hydratorino. Should be Hydrino or Hydrinko, whatever. Anyways, I'm not the one that operates the bot. Right, so you make that sound with the delay over here and then a reverb in here. By the way, Serum is lit. If you don't have Serum and you're a music producer, go get it. It's really, really, really good. But right, so let's talk about this. So the first phase of the battle, there's no, SAYU's just kind of floating around. He's not singing. So I want, the original design of that first phase was like kind of like Jet Set Radio, where you're sliding around and like you're kind of grinding on different islands and different places. And so there's no, it's kind of like, I want to make like in a drum bass song, I want to create a kind of sense of like ambience and kind of like introductory feeling of like, all right, we're going somewhere. I don't know where we're going yet, but we're starting the journey. And I really want to get that through. Hey, the J Gamer, good to see you, man. So yeah, that sound. And like that, gotta get the drums going, because drum bass songs, gotta get the drums. And for most, I don't know if this is a bad rule of habit. I'm not a professional drum bass producer. There are my friends who are way better than me in terms of finesse, but the way I do drum bass typically is I just layer a shitload and just hope it works, I guess. So I have these loops here, right? And then you have this one. It's a snare that I just rendered out. I ran out a snare sound, and then we got this layer. Right, it's pretty simple. And then you have the so you could use the ocean inspiration for the theme. Absolutely, right? Part of being a composer, I think, and being an effective composer is really, it's not about music theory. Music theory is just the bridge for you to have ideas. It's just a language, right? But at the end of the day, I think about things in sound and how sound translates to emotion, right? So when I think of a pad sound, when I think of like ambience, also Kamimi, thanks so much for the follow. So when I think of vastness, ocean, the ever-expanding depths of the sea, I think of big reverb, big delay, things that feel huge. So that's why I really wanted to create that sense of ambience from the get-go. Like, boom, we're in the ocean, we're sliding, we're grinding, we're Jet Set Radio, we're Sonic, right? Whatever, we're all Sonic. Sounds like a Powerpuff Girl fight drop. No, kind of though, dude. Real talk. Powerpuff Girls is, I think, most people's exposure to drum and bass as a kid. 100%. 100%. Starkey Fans Pants, hey, good to see you, man. Oh, shit, RoboRob, what's up, gamers? Hey, RoboRob wrote music for the EDM version for Eve and No Straight Roads. Go give him a follow. He also DJs all the time. Go, DJ. Go, DJ, go. Talking too fast again. Hey, Rob. But yes, if you love NSR, go check out Rob, because if you love NSR music, you love Rob. That's how this works. Yep. All right. So drum bass productions, right? So you have your drum bass loops, like, right? And just for good habit of layering, I have a kick. Ooh, sweet, exciting kick sound. Go with me, right? So all together, this is a pretty basic standard intro or sequence of drumming for the bass of the song. If it ever plays together. Here we go. There we go. Right, pretty straightforward. And that groove pretty much is persisting throughout the entire song with variances or not. Right? It's like, yeah, we're just bobbing. It's not crazy. It's not too intense. It's just a nice little bobber. Oh, what a nice mod you are. Thanks, Elavisa. Thanks for hooking up with Rob. All right. Right, so let's talk about that. So now we have the bass, right? Pretty straightforward. It's pretty... Because once again, we're just starting the journey. Like, I wanted to make sure that I had that A and B. Because if when I thought about, this section admittedly is a little repetitive, right? It's a pretty repetitive beginning, especially for what, 32 bars. Right? So it's pretty repetitive, obviously, because it's basically one chord for 32 bars, and then for one measure out of like every now and then you have different chord values, you know. And the reason why is because when you're thinking about music and you're, you know, let's talk some music theory for a second, if you bear with me for a little bit. So if I have this piano sound, if you can hear that, right? This is our root chord. We're in the key of a G flat major, right? Crab Rangoon Gan. Good to see you, man. Thank you for the follow. Right? So we're thinking about music theory for a second. Well, we're thinking about what key we're in. This is my root chord, G flat major. Or for some cute kids later on, you'll say, "Oh, James, it's actually B flat minor is the root chord." You're also right, but let's not go there. Right? So this is our root chord, and when we're here in the root chord on chord 1, that's where we feel the most at home, musically speaking, right? So if, you know, when I play those two chords in sequence, this chord is where you feel like, I'm resolved, I am here. And that's the idea between phase 1, because I want to set the ambience, I want to set the tone of the journey. It's so surreal to think of the layers that go into music production. I would have never put those two things together and thought they were cohesive. Yeah, no, music production is pretty much all layers. I'll go even so far to say that music production is a lot of times a lie, and the things that you think you're hearing are actually not what you're hearing, and we'll get to that with the vocals. Shout outs to Nikki. It's just how it is, right? So if you're doing music production, you're gonna have a lot of tricks and things to make you feel like, ooh, I'm listening to one thing, but it's actually a lot of things going on. I will butcher this name so bad. Hyacinthly, thank you so much for the follow. Did I nail that? Did I get that one? I think I did. Right? Back to music theory. So, like I said, you're on the beginning of a journey. You're like, boom, here we are, gamers. Right? And I do that for 3 or 4, for 3 bars, and then for one moment to create some kind of variability and to also, once again, create a musical theme. Right? We're going to go into motifs now. Right? That's a rhythmic motif. It's a very simplistic motif. And for those of you in the chat, James, what the fuck is a motif? Well, a motif is a musical phrase or rhythm that is used throughout a piece of music or an overarch or a sequence of music, right? So that da 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 da, right? So whatever these motifs are in the song, those persist throughout the entire piece of music, and that gives you, the listener, an easier way to digest and create anticipation and have a sense of memorability, I suppose. This is really important when you write music. It's thinking about motifs. James gonna make my brain expand to 8 brain cells. Yeah, expand, or you mean compress? The longer I expose you to me, you went from 80 brain cells, my guy, to 8. I got bad news for you. I'm just vibing out with you, James. Thanks, gamer. Appreciate it. Right. So phase 1 is a pretty straightforward piece of music. I don't even have vocals here. Right? It's pretty simple. Also, quick note, for those of you who don't know, hey, Nightbot works. Nightbot finally works. Thank you, LV Samad. You can just call me Justin. Okay, yeah, can do. I'll do my best to remember. So yeah, Squiddy, 50,000. Damn, I was at 5,000, but my man is 50,000. Squiddy, 50,000. Thank you so much for the follow, man. Right, so in No Straight Roads, there are, by and large, 3 different audio stems. I'm not sure if you guys know about this, but there's a melody stem, a bass stem, and a drum stem. Or a melody stem, a harmony stem, and a drum stem. And this is true for every single boss song in the game. And so this is what we did to kind of allow for different rearrangements of music. So, right, so in theory, if I pulled a Funk Fiction's vaporwave version of SAYU, I could take the vaporwave melodies and put them in, swap them with my melody, right? And that's how we create kind of that dynamic music experience. I used to lose brain cells, but watching your stream has made me gain more. Aw, well, I hope there's truth in that. Or you'll just go down to 7 brain cells. What about STEM? What do you mean, what about STEM? They're all good. They're all good. They're all really fire. I love the vaporwave version. Bumbaby 888. Thank you so much for the follow. Right, back to music. So yeah, so that's why I have to organize things this way, right? Because you have to make sure that every single stem, the harmony stem, can swap with any other harmony stem of the rock version or the vaporwave version, right? So to make sure everything all works and it's organized and figured out. And no, not stem from Evil Within series. True. But yeah, so the melody here is pretty straightforward too. What is that sound even? I think I took that from actually a random, yeah, that's just from a random sample library. I don't think that was even Nikki or SAYU, technically. Yeah, I think I just grabbed a vocal sample. What is this from? Transpose 1. This is from, I think, oh, what is this? Let's find out together. I don't remember. I made this back in 2017. The original production without vocals made in 2017. Right? That was just a vocal loop that I found, that I had in my computer. And I was like, I could just take that one part and make that the whole melody. That's the beauty of production, right? The butt makes me think of a submarine song or ping. It sounds like a bubble sound. It sounds like Discord ping. Wait, did I just make a small brain? Right? So that's how this works. A lot of times, a lot of sounds come from random things you would never think about, and I hope to demonstrate that more. Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's just a random loop, right? And then we have the other harmony sound later on, not harmony, the melody sound right here, that robot sound. Right, which I believe is a preset that, for once in my life, I actually used a preset from Silent, which is the Robo Hey, which I believe everyone has. If you have Silent, you can get the sound really easily. It's really easy. It's great sounds. I was like, sweet. I just want this little robotic melody sound, just boom, bum, boom, a kind of call and response sort of thing. Call and response meaning, here's the one sound, responding to the other sound. Oop, just kidding. Here you go, solo. That's pretty much the idea behind the whole phase. This is a pretty simplistic phase all in all. I don't want to repeat myself too much, as I already will 1,000 times. Not gonna lie, I thought it was around a bit. Yeah, to be honest, so did I. So did I. And then I saw the title of the file, and I was like, wait a second. No, it's not. I'm not that cool. Because remember, I made this Falk before Nikki was even on this. I don't think we were gonna do Nikki at first. Not that I didn't want Nikki. I love Nikki, but I think we were gonna explore like getting like an actual, idol voice character, and we had to get into licensing and how that would play out. I remember we were looking into that, but for the time being, it was something to consider. But yeah, that vocal's not from Nikki. Fun fucking fact. It was Bert's song. I wish Bert's song had the OC things to click and not the piano one. I don't know what that means, but I will think about it over the next minute. Anyways, yeah, that's phase 1 by and large. That's kind of what we're covering. Right, you get the idea. Yeah, because I also did Glitchy Vox at the end and reference a phase 1 clippy for style guiding. Hell yeah, it's just that simple, gamer. Game sick pop. Yep, I gotta keep sipping. I gotta keep sipping. But yeah, so unlike most other phases in levels for No Straight Roads, there's actually no transition phase. We just go boom right into it because of the level design. Because as soon as you activate a certain part of the gameplay loop in phase 1, it immediately just jumps you in when you start singing. What VS are you using for that which sexy synth? There's a lot of sexy synths. Rob, can you specify while I am still talking about sexy synths? Actually, let's talk about the harmony one more time, because I don't think I went there that far. The chords. Yeah. So, it's actually a layering. So, I have... Ooh, what's this boy? What's this boy? Filter Eighths? That was... oh, well, I guess I never used it. I have this... Also, I have a really bad habit of leaving in things that I never use. Anyways. Bobby Meister, hey. Thanks for going through, man. Oh, yeah. So, back to chords. So those chords are a layering. So, I have the dry version of just a saw. Just kidding, that's an arpeggio. I don't know, because I didn't label things. Anyways, the actual chords, I have the original saw pad, which is just straight good old default serum. Here we go. Here we go, Rob. We got unison 16 with the saw wave. We got, compression and reverb. It's so simple. And the reason why that I think some people don't always think about is oh shit, Amaryl's good to see you, man. The reason why, I think a lot of people think about, oh, it's a basic saw wave, it's boring, it's whatever. Voice leading. Holy shit, voice leading, right? This just sounds fucking epic because the way I'm playing that chord is filling out all the voices. Kind of like a big epic string orchestra, right? And saws are a kind of a very rudimentary imitation of what made an orchestra might sound like. Right? Versus say if I versus say if I did this. Completely different tone, completely different energy. No, dude, you're just in time. I just kind of going through the basics. Good to see you, Astral. Bouncy. Thanks so much for the follow, man. Sounds like a space trip, not gonna lie. Good, it kind of is, right? So we have that big epic saw, that thick saw. Yo, you want thick? I got thick saws, baby. We have that boy, and then we have the kind of the delay, which is the delayed pad, which is this really nice shimmer. I want that sound. That sound just kind of gives this that ambience, and that, Rob, is that is delay. It's literally the same sound. It's actually the same sound. I'm such a bad producer. It's the same sound. Anyways, it's just delay. It's delay then reverb, man. It's not rocket science. Hey, Julian, good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks so much for stopping by. Right. So we have those boys, and then underneath we have some nice little like future bassy kind of boop, 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 which is pretty straightforward. Man, I use a preset for this. I am so lazy, but I could have made this. This is just straight up just like a nice little soft warm pad, and the filter goes boop, 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 right? It's pretty straightforward in terms of musical production terms, right? And then we have a piano. Did I actually use a piano here? Piano. Yeah, I do. Let's talk about that for a second. You're like, James, why does the piano have that gate on it? Because gates are a great way. Gates are a great way to kind of create this kind of either this punch, a little extra punch, or a little extra more stabbiness to it, or you want to make something feel a little bit more distorted. Not distorted, sorry. A little bit more, I want to say glitchy, a little more electronic-y, right? So, right, I can't play right now because the delay on my piano to this is so fucking laggy, right? But it's a really good way. It's a nice way to kind of just make it feel a bit more choppy. And also, I probably didn't like the sound, I'm guessing, back when I made this, to have the gate off. I mean, it would have been fine, but I wanted the pad. I wanted to be more of a hit. The sound I was going for was having like a big hit and then have the delay do all the work. I think the piano was too ringy and too like but with the gate on it, I think it really does a good job of like, boom, big hit, and then delay time, right? And then the little last thing of this harmony section right now is the arpeggiator, right? This boy right here. Very basic, it's silent, saw, auto panning. Boy, I really hope this is in stereo mix right now. That you can hear the auto panning. Anyways, yeah. So arpeggios are lit. If you have an arpeggio in your song that's doing some like background work in your productions, you should definitely use auto pan. Auto pan is a great secret sauce. It's not even that much of a secret. Just if you're producing music, think about your stereo mix and how things move and go woo, right? So it's always very important. I love doing it everywhere. I do it on hi-hats, I do it on arpeggios, I do it on even random melodies. Right, you'll see, like, if you can listen to the arpeggio, you may not notice it the first time around, but you can feel it. And if you can feel it, that's really good. So that way the mix feels dynamic. It feels like it's moving. It feels bigger. These are things that are really important. Think about how they go woo. Hey, Alex, thanks so much for the host. Appreciate it. Shout out to Default. I'm going to keep that fucking thing. Shout out to Default OBS gift, baby. I'm a good producer. I'm a good streamer, right? I'm a great streamer, right, guys? Anyways, I feel like we covered I feel like we covered phase one and kind of in depth enough. Yeah. Look at all the nice people in the chat. Everyone's so chill and everyone's just having a fun time. I hope you're having a fun time. Maybe you guys are having a bad time. You just want to be spiteful and be like, I want to watch a stream and just watch James fuck up and say dumb shit. Yeah, I mean, listen, a view's a view. Good streaming, good vibes. Hell yeah. I want my money back. I'm taking back my sub. Give me my bits back. We're having a Megalovania. I'm like, the dumb person to me is like, well, Megalovania is a great song, so thank you. It took me a second. The streamer is malfunctioning. Bring us another one. I mean, too late for that. I've been malfunctioning for like 27 years now. How old am I now? I don't even know. I'm just vibing, gamer. This is really insightful. Thank you so much for for showing how you make music. Thanks. I'm glad to hear. And by the way, gamers, if you have any questions about anything as I talk through things, just yell at me. Just yell really loudly, and probably not in caps because the bot might catch it. But just yell and be like, James, what the fuck is this? What the fuck did you do here? What the fuck? It's the whole bad. Yeah, exactly. Well, James Landrincarino. It's interesting to see how two of my favorite artists from SAYU make a great song. Yeah, dude, Nikki's lit, dude. She's so good. Man. All right, let's talk about phase 2. Phase 2 is when we get the vocals featuring Nikki, wherever she is in this world. I hope she comes through at some point. I'll be like, hey, well, girl. Not like that because that sounds way too whatever. Let's talk about phase 2 though. So, spoiler alert, I have to actually turn off the. I actually have the original vocals here in a stem form because I originally could not find the actual recordings of her vocals. Please not do that, James. Please, yeah, you got it. I won't do that. Don't listen. I've already gotten in trouble before. I don't need to get in trouble again right now. I don't need to do that.
Undercurrents pull at your heart, feeling so powerful it leads you on. The waves of emotion wash over me, but can you see the ocean through the reef?
Right, big fucking epic like vocals. Hey Dendy, good to see you. Let's talk about some shit though. So you might be wondering, James, for producers in the chat, you might be wondering, James, that's a lot of fucking reverb, isn't it? I'm like, yeah, sure is, because we're in the fucking ocean. We need reverb in the ocean because oceans can capture reverb, right, guys? That's how music works, right? Nikki wrote the lyrics, right? Or was it collaboration? So yeah, so Nikki wrote the melody and the lyrics. She top-lined over this, would be the professional term, so to speak. Yep, she did all that work. And so, fun fact, which I confirmed with Falk actually the other day. Actually, I'll go into that. Fun fact, by the way. So, for the game, so not only did she write the lyrics for the linear version, she wrote lyrics for multiple loops of the song. Because the idea was that if you're going to be playing this phase over and over again for a few minutes, you're going to hear the same exact lyrics for like 5 minutes, which, you know, for 32 bars is going to get repetitive over time. So she actually wrote different versions of the lyrics. And so if you played the song in game 4 or 5 times, it would give you different lyrics. And that was really, really important to us at the time. And I guess it never got in the final game. But so in my folder of all of her takes, she has other versions of the verse and the chorus and everything else. There's like 10 minutes of lyrics in this song, low key. Fun fact on all that. So she did all that. She like not only did she top line, she like top lined and top line like times 5. She's a monster. Would you release versus SAYU but with isolated vocals? Well, you're hearing it right now. When I release it, I'm not technically allowed to. But maybe someday. I would love to do like a remix competition. Hint, hint. Sold out. Metronomic, if you're in the chat, hint, hint. That's how oceans work. I was home for a pufferfish carrot meme Easter and SAYU stage. That's oddly specific. Is that referring to something? So many fish puns. I like your username. There are so many fish puns. It's actually kind of incredible. Until I actually read it, I didn't realize how many fish puns there were. Damn, that's sick. Super fun fact. Wow, neat. Holland's lyrics for No Shade Road's very rare. Oh, dude. Dendy knows. Dendy knows the secrets. I will record. That's right. Now you have the isolated 16-bar vocals. Hell yeah. But yeah, so let's talk about these vocals for a second, because that's the first brand new thing. And I realize I'm an awful producer. I really, really am an awful producer, because these are quote-unquote bad habits of producing. So let's talk about some shit. So here's the original vocal by itself, without any processing. Oh, wait for it. Let's play it.
Undercurrent.
Never mind. I guess I have to hear the processing of it without doing... Yeah, no, it's not going to do that. All right, never mind. I'm not going to show you that part. But so anyways, here is the change. James, you're an awful producer. You just get these things done in a special way. A especially bad way. But the reason why the reverb is so huge, and one would think, James, shouldn't you create an aux or a bus? You're right. I didn't, because it was in 2017. And I didn't know any better. I'm a bad producer. But so the reason why it sounds so reverby is because I have a reverb right here, down below, and then and a delay. Wow, go me. And then I have a compressor that squashes everything.
Undercurrents pull at your heart, feeling so powerful.
And then I do it again. You can't see it over here because my camera's blocking it, but I have 2 compressors. See you later, crap. Good to see you, man. But yeah, it's really, so that's why it sounds so fucking reverb, because I just compress the shit out of it. So if I were to just, if I turn this off,
pull at your heart, feeling so powerful.
It's still there, but it's not as like in your face as like what it is, in the final version. So that's kind of the sound of it. I should have just done a bus, but I'm not a good producer. But yeah, so this whole thing is just a squashed thing. I think if I turn everything off, this will sound really, really, I don't want to say thin. It's gonna be you're gonna for exclusive. You're gonna hear SAYU not as an idol. You're gonna hear SAYU as Nikki Simmons.
Undercurrents pull at your heart, feeling so powerful. It leads you on. The waves of emotion wash over me, but can you see the ocean through the reef?
Right. So that's how it sounds. It's completely, even though you can still hear her voice, it's kind of entirely different. It's really different, and it's a much more, I want to say, for lack of a better word, a more intimate take of the whole experience, right? Yeah, it's a much more intimate take or recording of the singing. It's really, I find it really interesting. Maybe we'll do like a nice little ballad version. Who knows? But so through all this processing, right, the first thing I had to do was that if I want to make something feel that's originally more intimate sounding, but really feel like EDM, I need to process this a certain way. She's singing it, right? Like a good idol she is, she's singing you a lullaby to sleep. Right, but so I have to, for producer talk now, I have to put on a big compressor. And not just a compressor, I have to slam that compressor.
Undercurrents.
You can't see it. Hold on, I'm gonna do this. Look how much that compression that is.
Leads you on.
That is completely different. That's without compression. Huge. It's completely different. Right?
Powerful.
It's completed. You gotta slam that compressor, right? Remember, chat, slam the compressor. If you want to sound like an EDM producer in 2020. But yeah, so compression, I had to slam it because basically what you have to do is make all the loud parts sound quiet, and then make the quiet parts sound really loud. You basically like level it out, make it into a big sausage. Compressors are like making a sausage, and you really want that sausage. And I know what I'm doing, guys. Don't you worry. This is now for, okay, we're gonna move on. Is Nikki's voice pitch processed? Yes, we'll get to that. Yep. So the next thing also is with her voice. She's still squashed right now.
Undercurrents pull at your heart.
Right. I made it stronger, but it's still not enough yet. And I had a little shimmy, shimmer, sham. Right, like with the OTT. OTT is a great effect. Producer talk time now. OTT is a great effect. It makes things sound brighter and a little more like just kind of in your face.
Undercurrents pull at your heart.
So I turned the OTT on and it just already sounds a little bit, just kind of more in your face. Also, bacon taco. That sounds great. Thank you so much for the follow, mate.
Undercurrents.
That's with OTT on. Now we'll turn it off.
So powerful.
It's completely different.
Leads you
completely different sound.
The waves of
right? So now we're gonna go into the next secret sauce. We're gonna go into, this is what James, mate. Your music is so damn good, it's memorable, and the process behind it is very clever. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the stream, man. So let's talk about Isotope Vocal Synth. which is the secret sauce that makes SAYU sound a little more SAYU-y. Let's talk about it.
Undercurrents pull at your heart, feeling so powerful it leads you on.
It's subtle, but it's creeping. It's right there. So I'm gonna show you with it on. This is with the SAYU. This is with like the sauce of the SAYU sound right here. Is a plugin called Vocal Synth. Hexbox. Thank you so much for the follow, man. Isotope's the best, dude. Dude, I love Isotope Vocal Synth. This is actually the first one. The second one's even better, which I didn't use at the time because it didn't come out yet when I made the song. But anyways, right. This is how I can get really weird. I experimented a lot with vocal processing because I was trying to find the balance of like how do I make someone feel robotic but still feel like a real singer, right? Because I could get weird real quick.
Undercurrents pull at your heart, feeling so powerful. The waves up.
And we can get weirder real quick. That's just me turning one knob.
Undercurrents pull at your heart, feeling
Oh, it's
so
sounding great, guys.
powerful.
Wait, what values did I have here? Shit.
Undercurrents pull at your heart, feeling so powerful.
Yeah, so that's kind of the idea. I could get really weird real quick. And I can get even weird if I want to, right?
Undercurrents pull at your heart, feeling so powerful.
Right, so you get the idea. I could do a lot of weird things, and for a long time, I was trying to experiment with what's the fine line of human sound versus a robot sound. And yes, there's a lot of great processing you can do. Dude, it absolutely DJ Taka samples. I love that fact. That I think you're referring to quickening, right? Is it quicken? Am I right? I'm pretty sure you're referring to quickening on that one. Samples dot wave. I can't believe it actually made the thing. I think so. I think Dendu would know that one if we're gonna talk producers. Probably. I mean, that's true. Probably a whole bunch. We can't. Wait. Can't you make it sound like a dog too? What? What do you mean make it sound like a dog? I can't do that. I feel like I could if I tried for an hour, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I'll tell you what we didn't do. So originally I had this processing on her.
Undercurrents pull at your.
But the one thing I kept off is right here. This is auto-tune. And I think the auto-tune was a little too much for this song.
Undercurrents pull at your heart, feeling so powerful it leads you.
Originally, we were going to go for a really auto-tune sound. And that was one of the rough drafts of her vocals, was having that auto-tune on top of it.
Undercurrents pull at your heart,
But
feeling.
in the end, I was like, I think it's distracting. I think it's a bit too much from what we already have. So I turned it off.
Undercurrents pull at
And
your heart,
I think this was the
feeling
correct
so
choice. I think most people would agree
powerful it
the auto-tune was too much. So that's kind of the bulk of it, right? So at this point, we have our SAYU sound. We have
Undercurrents pull at your heart, feeling so powerful.
right. It's there. And sure, one could argue, well, James, you could have done the tweaks and you could have tweaked more stuff, right? Oh, can I get this thing off? Stop. Can I get this thing off? Stop it. There we go. Okay. I think Nicole's vocals do the song super justice. No need for autotune. Exactly. I think it rides the line of autotune just enough. I hope. So at that point, yeah, we have the sound, and now it's time to create our space. So when you're producing music, it's a good rule of thumb to get the sound you want first, and then you create the space with it if you need it. So naturally, we're talking about space. So we're gonna add reverb, and the reverb I use is called Valhalla Room, which is really, 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 really good.
Undercurrents pull at your heart, feeling so powerful it.
Right? Big, epic, large room. Valhalla Room, baby! Rob knows. Rob understands. Right? And so then I add some delay just to give a little bit, just a very subtle delay. So for producer talk, we're down to 7.9%. That's like nothing.
Undercurrents pull at.
Very subtle. It's just in the background when the vocals go down, right? So delay is a great way to have on vocals or on any sound really. Just having a subtle amount of delay when a song, when an instrument sound starts to decay or release in technical terms, delay is a good way to kind of just like fill the space when it goes away, because you want to think about that if you want that sound. My favorite part is the Valhalla. My favorite from the Valhalla is true. It is true. Not the Val part. Well, that's the thing though. It is the final version, right? And so at this point onward, you'll be like, James, why'd you add all this extra stuff? Because I need to do some processing, right? Like, I couldn't tell you why I add more compressions, but I'll tell you, right, you know, we got multiband on it, we got the EQ, we got more compression after the EQ. We're doing a whole slam dam of processing here to make this whole thing. But the meat and potatoes was in the first few things I showed you.
Undercurrents pull at your heart, feeling so powerful it leads you on.
And there you go. That is the SAYU sound. By and large, it's a ton of compression, OTT for a little shimmy sham, and then you have the vocal, you basically a vocoder, isotope vocal synth to be specific, and that vocoder gives it just a subtle enough character where it feels robotic without being a literal robot. And that's the whole process behind it. And I think I did a decent job of it. Other thing I want to point out too, which goes back to Abysmal Cosmos. Hey, thank you so much for the follow, man. I gotta take a sip of water. I am talking up 1,000 miles an hour. Right, so you'll immediately notice, by the way, so the way how I have these takes done, I have versus version 1, versus version 3, right? And these are done to, as I said earlier, we made a lot of, Nikki made a lot of verses, different versions of verses that we could use for gameplay reasons. And so I took my favorite bits for the song version of it that we hear in the soundtrack. So, right, so there's a whole other version of vocal takes that just, you know, no one's ever heard before, right? All of this stuff right here. Oh yeah, there's processing. We'll get to that actually. I forgot there's processing here. Wait, right. So, I did something really sneaky in this, and I kind of forgot, but now I remember once I heard it. It really makes sense for the echo of when you think field you fire in. All sounds like a clock as well. Perfect. Yep. No, this is great, guys. I'm so glad everyone's coming through for this. Let's talk about this. So, when we think about, I don't really know why I did this, but I guess I was really on this calm response mood. So, to kind of create variability, again, we're thinking about a 32 bar that loops over and over and over again. So when you're playing in game, 32 bars after 5 minutes, you're gonna hear that loop like 7 or 8 times. And I'm like, man, people might get really tired of hearing vocals. But guess what? They didn't, because now the song has like 1.5 million plays. Thanks, everyone. But at the time, I was stressed out because I'm like, no one wants to hear vocals nonstop for 5 fucking minutes of the same loop. So what I did was, for the first half of the vocal phrase, you have, SAYU singing as normal as I showed you guys, right?
Undercurrents pull at your heart.
Right? But then for the second half, I actually do new processing. I add this thing called pitch wheel. Now, pitch wheel is a different kind of vocal processing, or just processor in general, right?
Undercurrents drag at your heart, feeling so powerful it leads you on.
You can feel it, right? It sounds just different enough where there's processing on it. And you can tell because we have this value called -2 for the timbre, or the formant, so to speak. I believe it's a formant here. Right? Listen to this versus.
Drag at your heart, feeling so
That's the original.
It leads you on.
So it's just subtle enough for it to have a sense of different timbre, because again, a robot's changing over time as you fight her. Her voice is changing. Cherry Love Lace, thanks so much for the follow, man. Hey, Riri, Rere, Rare. 057. Thanks so much for the follow. Yeah. So that's the processing that's going on under the hood. It's just having little subtle. Originally, what I wanted to do. Noid, thank you so much for the follow. Noid, thank you so much. Wait. Oh, I just realized it. Rare. I'll say rare. Like a DJ scratch. What I originally wanted to do was, as you fight SAYU, you know, it would do this.
Undercurrents drag out your heart, feeling so powerful.
That was my first original idea, was having the pitching change very, I did not as subtle, but I wanted to originally have subtle pitch changes, or format changes to her voice. So it feel like a robot, kind of like it's not fully stable because you're fighting it and kind of destroying its body or whatever. But I realized that was also too distracting, because at the end of the day, I want it to sound good. Like, you always want to make sure that when you're writing music for games or any kind of visual media like film or TV, you don't always want to think of, well, what would it sound like actually happening? I think it's, what's it called? Is it called diagenic? And something else, right? It's called diagenic and something else. And basically, that would have been sick, especially when the level went dark. Well, yeah, so if we had ways to trigger it in-game, I think I would have loved to do it. Like, if in the audio engine for the game, it could do that effect, which I think it can, that would have been really cool. But as it's kind of its own looped experience, I kind of thought that was too much. Me personally thought that was a little too much. So back to the thing, right? So I thought that was distracting, because I want, at the end of the day, I want this still to be a good, interesting song to listen to, not just what the game dictates for it. So at the end of the day, I decided to, you know, dial it back. But at the whole picture of everything here, right?
Through the reef, undercurrents drag out your heart, feeling so
right, we go down,
powerful.
we change the effect,
Leads you on.
then we go back up.
A new tide comes in and I'm washed away.
Nikki is so good. Nikki, if you're something by, you were so good. God damn it, Nikki. Ugh. What is this? Freeze? I guess what was this? Is this some weird effect? Oh, I was gonna chop up vocals. That's what I was gonna do. Haha. Yeah. So this is what's so fun to go to old projects of mine, because I leave a lot of little ideas that I just don't delete. So this was supposed to be vocal chops, and I was thinking about doing vocal chops for phase 2. Sounds great, guys. No, it doesn't. That's why I didn't do this. Let me turn the reverb off for a second. It just didn't sound right to me. It was a little bit too weird, and I didn't do it right. I'm sure if I worked on it, I could have made it better, but it wasn't. It's just not. I couldn't get any good sounds out of it, so I was like, "This idea sucks. We're scrapping it. Let's move on." But yeah, these are some of the things that I want to make happen. Oh man. Well, technically, you're destroying it, just messing with the coding. But yeah, that's the idea, that you're, you know, whatever it is you're doing to the character is changing, and I want that sound to change. So did Nikki sing and record these? The actual vocals, yes, not the chopping. She didn't sing the ba-ee-oo. That's me using processing to chop up those vocals and, you know, have it triggered on my piano, so I can be like, great music, guys. Not that the taco sample. No, I know you're right though. No, if I want to be a real producer, I could do the what is it? Loop length. Can I repeat this? Hold on. I love that sound, and I wish I could do that more in producing. But that's a great effect, and I want to just I want to do that in the song. I want to do a cool moment where it's like yeah, like she's in a transition phase, and it's like, sounds great, right? Producing is crazy. You can spend, as producers know, you can spend forever making wild, cool sounds. Will there be a whole version later? I woke up too late. Yes, so there will be a VOD of this on Twitch, and I'm thinking about uploading this to YouTube. So, yep, be on the lookout. Obviously follow, blah, 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 and it'll be there. That's the Slate effect, right? There's a lot of cool things. Producers, I think, sometimes think, like, you'll be messing around with ideas, and you'll be like, oh, that's so cool, but it's not what I want. No. Stop. Save that idea. Just record it. Record that idea, have the audio, and then resample it. You will be so happy you did later, because you'll have this really cool, like, sound designing moment. That's how, whenever you're listening to, like, EDM music or electronic music, and you're like, how the hell does someone make that sound? That's usually where it comes from. Someone was like, I made a wacky sound along the way, and then I just kept it around, and then I brought it back later. It's a cool sound. It's a really cool sound. It's a weird sound, but if you do it right, it's really cool. So you got to keep those ideas around, man. But yeah, let's talk about music. But yeah, that's the vocal stem. That's the meat and potatoes of what's going on processing wise into SAYU. Tired Snake, thank you so much, man, for the GameCube follow. What I have here in the melody stem, let's find out. I was surprised when SAYU and DK West were basically the only bosses with lyrics. Was every boss going to have lyrics at some point? That's a good question. I think the answer is no. But in retrospect, I think we would have preferred to do more vocals if we had the bandwidth to do so. I would have loved to do 1010 as a full vocal song. I think there are other songs we would love to have full vocal things. That's also why in certain bosses, like in Supernova, in my electronic remix of that, I have vocals in it, like little loop samples, because I wanted to have some of that vocal variability, because I thought sometimes the soundtrack was a bit too instrumental heavy. Not that that's a problem, I just want to get more vocals when I can. I guess we'll get going. Got ready for work. Well, hey man, thanks so much for coming through. I appreciate it. That time Demas was creating music on stream and accidentally made Darwood Sandstorm. I mean, we could do that like right now too. It's not a hard sound to make. It's actually not at all. Good luck at work. Aw, dude, man, you guys are so nice. I love this chat. This is the nicest chat in Discord. You guys are great. Time for a sip. All right, let's talk about melody stem, things that are part of the game. Because remember, so I wrote, when I produced the original song, I didn't have this, and I had just. This was the original. This is what I sent to the developers a long time ago, and they're like, "Great, we love it." I think we love it. Right. So I had to produce something, and fill it out just enough that there could be a song with or without vocals. Exactly. Oh, are the vocals in 1010 just sound cues, or are they actually part of the track? No, so they're sound cues. The sound designers from Imba is the team that made the sound design for the game. They made that processing and made those vocal cues. It's actually not part of the original song. Exactly. You guys got this. But so let's talk about the melody stem for a second. So we got this boy, right, which is just arpeggiations, right? Boop, 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 boop. Very straightforward, very simple. It's actually kind of not even needed, but just a little something to fill the space when there's no vocals, right? Very simple. Simple ideas are often good ideas. Often. But that's it for the melody stuff. Nothing really, you know, James is the master of the beep boop bop. Well, what am I, Mr. Krabs now? I'm making some Electric Zoo music over here. Let's talk about the harmony. Just kidding. Let's not talk about the harmony because it's not playing the audio. There we go. Right. Very straightforward. These are just saw pads. Very simple. Cherry Love. Yeah, dude. I hope you're enjoying just kind of seeing the sauce of everything. It's very simple. But let's talk about writing, right? So in phase 1, where we have you stop. So in phase 1, you know, we have this like I hope you can hear that. It's not too loud for you guys. But we have this piano chord for phase 1. Right? That's phase 1 energy. It's like, hey guys, all right, we're starting the journey, right? As I said earlier. Now we're in phase 2, and now I want things to be like, boom, here we go. Here's a video game for you gamers. But so instead of just doing this for 4 bars, now we're doing, and now we're hanging on this new chord. Da-ba-da-da. I wanted to do more cool chords, but it was too extra for this song. I wanted to go cooler. Like that was a thing with the bass version. I wanted to get wild and kind of weird and be like, I wanted to do that and kind of find a way to make it work. But it was, again, sometimes you gotta reel it in, especially for someone like me who wants to be weird. I have to reel it in a lot. Phase 2 is officially gamer time. It kind of is though. Yeah, we'll get to phase 3. Don't you worry. We're almost there. That's actually phase 4. Excuse you. By developer lens, that is actually phase 4. Actually, is it phase 4? Volk would correct me on that one. It's like a crispy spite taste. That's true. I get that. I understand. I'm with you. So what you're saying is, say you for a Sprite commercial. Dude. I'll never do that again. Never again. All right. So the take us to church, James. Yeah, dude. Dude, I'm about to make a SAYU shout. Let's go. I wish I would love to play it. By the way, I would love to learn have an organ and like learn how to play shouts so bad. I think it's I've been listening to a lot of them lately. They're so much fun. Whose idea was it to cover versus SAYU with Japanese vocals? Crimson Ribbon. Thanks so much for the follow. Who's it? So that was the developer's idea because we originally we were gonna have vocals for all of the languages that we supported. The French, English, Japanese, French, and one more I can't remember. I think Spanish. I don't remember. Sorry, gamers. I think Spanish. But yeah, so we originally were gonna have 4 different versions of SAYU, which is kind of crazy, production-wise. Like the time it takes to organize all that's kind of a nightmare. But we did not have time, and so we got the Japanese version, which is fine with me. I love the Japanese version. But so that was always the plan. But yeah, I wanted to get weird with this song. But yeah, so the harmony. Kayla Dawn, thank you so much for the follow. Or Donk, Kayla Donk, thank you so much for the follow. I was gonna try singing Under the Currents in Spanish, but my Spanish is below currents. It's no bueno. Oh man. Right, so the harmony's pretty straightforward though. It's just piano, saw pad on top. Once again, keep it simple, gamers, because the star of the show is Nikki. The star of the show is SAYU. So I don't want to get in the way of that. I want to do a lot of cool things. Be like, like I want to do that, but that's like cool. But what about SAYU? And it's like, nah, dude, I can't do that. So that's the harmony. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Producers, if you got vocals and if you want your vocals to be dope, get the hell out of the way. Bass is all straightforward. It's just from the phase 1 energy, like it's pretty straightforward. Very straightforward. You don't even think about the bass, right? Drums is a little bit more involved now, because before we had this in phase 1. Some nice little jogging music. Ooh, mystery man GameCube follow. The GameCube is now following. GameCube is following me. Holy shit. But now in phase 2, we got bigger vocals now. Right? Beware the GameCube. Let's talk about this. To be honest, I don't know why I made it so different than the phase 1. I could have just kept it, but whatever. Producing back in 2017 was a different time in my life. I want to talk about a few things here, though. Other than the standard obvious things of there's a kick, there's a snare, there's a groove going on somewhere. Does this rhyme? Let's not talk about that. So a great way to have variability in your drums is having some little, I don't know what you'd call it, I guess little percussion elements. With often what I use is usually verb. Basically, with drums, you want to create, I don't want to say even create space, you want to create variability, right? So I have a snare here, right? Right? And that's fine. That's fine enough. But when I decided, I want to have a snare feeling kind of fills the space, right? It's grudgy. Thank you for the follow. Yay. Right? So now the snare has a layer that kind of happens every 4 bars. It's just a little detail to kind of fill things out a bit, right? Once again, variability. So you're like, cool, that's great. I got kick snare. I got some little like clap reverb space. It's just clap with reverb, by the way. That sound is very simple to make. Okay, cool. That's sweet. Let's talk about that sound, right? Do you hear that? That little... I love doing that in my drums. Filling space. Having reverse effects. So I actually took the clap sound. So this sound right here. Let's solo that real quick. Wait, I'm confused. Are you part of the team who made NSR or just know them? No, I am NSR. No, so I wrote music for No Shade Rose with me and a few others. Like a bunch of composers on this project. So yeah, no, I was part of the audio team who made No Shade Roads. Nintendo, dude, we got GameCube. Now we got Nintendo Wii following me. Yo, Nintendo, call me up, baby. Let's go. Thank you for the follow. All right. So let's talk about the sound right here, right? So this, you're like, that's a cool little sound. What the hell is it, James? And you're like, it's actually very simple. So what I did was I took the clap sound, this sound right here, in fact, right? And then I reversed it. And I'll prove it to you right now because I do this. Bam. And you're like, what? That's not anything yet. I'm like, just wait a second. As I do this. Right? It's a clap sound. And then I pitched it down. You can't really see the details, but I pitched it down. Right? And then I reversed it. So I make that effect to kind of fill the space out. It's a nice little effect, eh? And now I sound Canadian. So you put it all together. Right? Little details go a long way in music production. Nintendo's in here. Wii Shop. Dude, I would love to do a Wii Shop remix. I know, RP. Doodles, thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate it. But yeah, that's kind of the little secret sauces I put in my drums is having little reverb spaces or having, you know, little like reverse effects to kind of just fill the space out. Zero Base Soul, thank you for the follow. Here we go. And then we got the hats. You know, we got some hitty hats. Pretty straightforward, right? Ooh, here we go. It's very straightforward. It's as straightforward as it gets ever. Right? So once again, adding variability. I'm gonna make this point fucking obnoxious for everyone in the chat, but adding variability is so important. So that's why you have these little like cowbell sounds, and it only happens every alternating pattern of the drum sequence, right? So these drums are just a much more even the drums are very simplistic by design. There's actually a lot of variability underneath it to make it feel more interesting and lively. Can you talk about transient processing? I'm sure some producers in here don't know how powerful they are. I can. I also don't do it a lot because I'm a bad producer. But if you're a smart producer like me, if you're a smart producer like other people, not me, transient processing is great for making any sound punchier. And you can do that with a few effects. What do I use for transient punching? So I bought a thing called... Where you at? Phase? Is it... There you go. Kilohertz. Kilohertz has a great transient effect that basically makes it sound snappier. So for example, if I want to make this cowbell sound hit a little harder, I would use a transient shaper. Now what this does is, I'm getting really in the meat and potatoes of things. I can make this attack higher. Do you hear that? Just automatically adds this extra punch. Among other things you can do. It's very valuable, but a transient shaper, transient processing is so good. So that's with it on. This is with it off. Completely different. And fun fact, you don't always want to transient shape everything because it then can be too snappy and too punchy and it might be a little too much. But for control of production and trying to get a sound you want, transient shapers are amazing. They're so good. Boop. That's a spicy beat. That's a spicy meat beat. Wait, stop. I'm saying meatball. All right, scratch that line. Do you want to smack someone in the face with a cowbell? Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is so good, and it's very cheap, and you should all get them if you're a producer. Very, very valuable. But yeah, the drums are very straightforward. No real. I showed you the secret sauces in here. It's very straightforward. Yeah, exactly, Dendy. Everyone's different. Everyone has their sound. You know, for what I would consider a pop-esque production, which this kind of is, keep it simple. Don't get too crazy, in my opinion. But, you know, pop gets crazy. And someone say, well, Sophie is pop. And it's like, maybe. We'll have that debate another day. We're talking about traditional-esque music from like 2018 or 17 pop, not 2025 pop when Sophie takes over the whole industry with her pop sound. Her pop sound? Their pop sound, excuse me. Take in. Thanks for the follow. Paul Hogg, apparently I'm stuck with Kingdom Hearts, not Kill Hearts. You gotta get Kill Hearts though. I want to get into making music. Got any tips? Phaetamine. Phaetamine? Did I say that right? Thank you for the follow. Yeah. I want to get making music. Got any tips? Tips for you would be, think about what you want to make before you want to make it. I think sometimes people want to get making music, and I think the trouble they get into really early on is, I want to learn, but I don't know what to make. Figure out what you want to make first. And I think the easiest answer is doing covers or remixes of songs that you already like. That's a great way to start. Shabu, trademark. Uh-oh, trademark. Thank you for the follow. Yeah. And also, Taken, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I am doing a stream, sipping water, and sipping tea. Yeah. SAYU is my favorite level and theme. Can't stop into the EDM Vaporwave and rock remix. Thank you. I'm so glad to hear. Yeah. Alright. So that's the drums. Very straightforward. And so overall, that's this whole phase 2. It's not actually a lot going on. The only actual thing I want to talk about here is, so in phase 2, you know, it's actually 40 bars instead of 32 bars. The reason being that we do not want to overwhelm the listener with vocal audio. So at the end of the 32 bars with vocals, oh, wait for a second. Hey. Right, so we have those 8 bars there to do a very important thing, which is to create variability within the loop. Because I personally think if I didn't do that in the song, and we have... And it might be fine, but you're thinking about a loop after 5-10 minutes of something. Because I have to expect that gamers who play the game may not be the best gamers, and that they might suck, and they'll keep dying the same spot. So we don't want to overwhelm you with vocal music for that one section. Basically, I have to write music because gamers sometimes suck. That's the truth. It is though. Spoilers. We have to accommodate bad gamers so I can write good music. Good. I hope. I love the cowbell. Like I love that. But that's why we have that section. Which is just, I believe, a preset from Serum. Hooray, presets. I use a lot of presets in this song. That's really unusual for me. And the sauce for that is just, you know, saw wave, and then it's just tube distortion. Wait, what? It's not even that distorted anymore. Never mind. Why is it so distorted then? It's not, I turned it off. Why is it so distorted? Oh, it's the compressor doing all the hard work. Got it. Well, I guess I'm a bad sound designer, analyzer. Honestly, I like SAYU. I'm on the back gamers. Well, then I did my job. I accommodated you, and isn't that what we want? We want accessibility, accommodating gamers. I like SAYU and DK West. They are strong and honestly my style. And 2, they have fun and lyrics you can do. Yep. I wish we did more vocal audio. I hope we do more for future projects. I'm just gonna say Revolution comes around as I watch a playthrough. It had me hyped to play the game, and it sets the standard of what you're gonna be hearing. Yes, that song for another day when I do a stream with all the composers, we can talk about that song. But that song came together so quickly and kind of crazily. But I think we did a really good job. What are you using? Ableton Live, music production software. I was honestly surprised by 1010 not being a completely vocal song. Yeah, it is what it is. Production costs just come to play. It was actually quite difficult to accommodate vocals for our game. There's a lot of thought and process behind it. Even it's as simple as gamers think it's as simple as put the vocal in, and sometimes they're right. In this case, it's not simple at all. It's actually kind of a nightmare. I bought Elton the next day. Let's go. Yeah. But yeah, phase 2, pretty straightforward. Transitions for this song are pretty straightforward too. It's just one chord. Emperor of Hearts, thank you for the follow. Also, the final version of the game, Fog, I don't know if you know this, the final version of the game does not have fills. There's supposed to be drum fills. I want to talk about this real quick. There's supposed to be a fill here that I accidentally didn't have in the stems. Not that one. Where are you? This one. That was supposed to be there in the original song, and then when I sent the stems to you guys, it wasn't there anymore. So the song just isn't there. And I was like, you know what? Whatever. It's fine, right? It's fine. Well, I don't know. It just wasn't there. And the same thing again for the transition. So originally for the transition into the chant section that everyone loves, there was supposed to be a fill there. And it's not there. We just left you hanging. And to be honest, I kind of like the hang better. But that fill was there. And it just wasn't. So now we have this. Which I think actually is a happy accident. I actually like it better now without the fill. I like the hang a lot. But like when I was making the song, that wasn't supposed to happen. Oops. It works really well, but oops. D. Wooster, thank you for the follow. James, when's your first breakcore release? Technically, I've already done one when I was like 13 or 14, but we won't go there. Butter Adult, thank you for the follow. Oh man. It does work really well, but I need to I'm letting the world know through exclusive announcement. I'm a hack fraud and don't know how to unmute channels in my songs for making audio stems. That is very true. Oh man, I thought it was Gene's Hot Time to see. Oh, I think I already said that. I am such a hack fraud producer. You're more I guess so. But either way, it worked out right. So you know what? I'm keeping that shit muted. You're not going to hear the fill. Even though I like the fill here. I do wish I had the fill here. I don't know, though. It sounds weird now. I'm like, it's a little too much now. I don't know. Blue Jay Flu, thank you for the follow. Oh, man. I totally Bob Rossed it. So anyways, I'm going to have this muted. But just so you know, that's not the real final version. Nikki, you're so good. Nikki, you're so good. Ugh. When I was producing this originally, it was just this, right? This is what I had. It's still good. Yo, funny story. There's actually a processed drum fill in the rock version of the track for that early transition, but not the drop. Exactly. See, we were on the same page here. You filled the void. You filled the void in my heart of what the song needed back in 2018. But yeah, this is what I sent to the producers, not producers, the developers of the game, because I was like, well, we don't have vocals yet, and we gotta make it slap somehow. And then Nikki comes in and is like, oh wait, let me give you some fire vocal audio. Right. I want to point out, this is, I did this on purpose. That is straight up Kirby. That was on purpose. I'm like, yo, I want to add some Kirby flavor to this song. Did Nikki write the melody too? Yes, she did. Yes, she wrote the melody, but she obviously took melody ideas from what I had written for the song already. But yeah, she did the whole melody for everything. She's so good. She is so fucking good. Could you talk about the instruments you use for the melody line? Sorry I missed it earlier. I will. Which melody, for this phase? Yes, I will absolutely do that. It's weird how our voice is a perfect match for SAYU, right? DJ Qsify. Thank you for the follow. I don't remember Mr. Roger either. I was too young for Mr. Roger. It's absolutely Kirby, and it's because of this. Where are you hiding? Where are you hiding? Where are you hiding? This one. Yes, that is Kirby. That is straight up just Kirby sounds, 100%. James Bambino, my boy, hi. Hey man, thank you for stopping by. This is a random and kind of irrelevant to the stream, but I remember you from your magical remix of "This Will Be the Day" from Ruby, which by the way I just watched recently again. Dude, you're a homie fan then. You go for the throwback. I'm so glad. H Water, thank you for the follow. I do need to H Water right now. Some hentai water. Flower lungs. That sounds uncomfortable. Thank you for the follow. How'd you do the Kirby thing? So the Kirby thing, I'll show you right now. So it's very simple. So in Serum, it's just this sound. So I'm turning off all the effects of it, right? It's just this Serum patch right here, which I made. Right here. I made that. And that little plucky sound is actually on the pitch. So you hear that little doo doo. That's because I'm adding effect on as producer time. I'm adding an LFO to the pitch of the square wave, and that creates that effect. If I bypass it, it doesn't have that little squeak anymore. But if I have it back on, as just a little bit squeak on, a little squeaky, a little bit of, right? Get a little pluckier, and then you have the arpeggiator, which Kirby has. If you listen to Kirby music, there's arpeggiations everywhere. So, right? So you have this, and that's it. The arpeggiator does all the manual labor of all the notes, because the arpeggiator just takes 16th note values of the chord that I just wrote, and it goes beep, 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 right? Right? And then for because we're talking about arpeggiations and about spatialization of production, I add autopan, or you guys may call it tremolo, or et cetera, right? Boy, I hope that came through over the stream with stereo mix. But anyways, just trust me, the sound is flying everywhere. Woo! I'm pretty sure I'm younger than you, but I've watched him. Yeah, I just didn't watch Mr. Rogers. Holy Bear. Oh, whoa. Thank you for the follow, dude. But yeah, Kirby sounds. I gotta go. See y'all later. Yeah, dude, good to see you. Thanks for coming by, Hexbox. But yes, so Kirby music, because I wanted it. Let's talk about chords for a second. Well, before we get to everything else. Not that. We want this. Right. So phase 1 was on our root chord. If we remember music theory, this is our root chord, or our also root chord. These are root chord energies. We won't go into the sauce of that, but. Right, phase 1 was right, like, ooh, we're going somewhere, but we're starting the journey, and then it was, and then for phase 3, now we're at the chorus. Now we're like, here's the big moment. We're here. And then we gotta change it up now, because usually originally in phase 1 2, the change up was. Blue Oni, thank you for the follow. You should have been Owl Oni. Japanese lesson. Anyways, do you mind sharing the VST for that piano? I will in a second. But yeah, so originally the change up in the chord progression was for phase 1, phase 2. I did not want to do that again for phase 3 because I'm already doing that as the main idea. Stronger, right? But now it's like, how can I get weirder? Right? And so what we're doing there, and for those of you who remember the 1010 stream, modulations are the best thing ever. So this is modulation sequence. What I mean by modulation is we have, so here right now, just kidding, play right chord. I have an E flat minor 7 chord right here. And now we have a F minor 7 chord. Now we have an G flat minor 7 chord. Now we have an A flat minor 7 chord. It's the same chord value, minor 7 or minor 9 if you want to be a jazz musician, but it's just different notes. So that's the modulation effect that creates that kind of cool little moment. That's it. Modulations are the best. I talked about 1010 a lot because, you know, like the modulations. You know, the modulations. That's all modulations, and it's the best. It's one of the coolest effects I do in my music writing. I love doing modulations. Am I dense, or did he work on the entire soundtrack for the game? No, I worked on, there was 4/5 of us, and we all divided up the work between us because we wrote like 4 hours of music for this game. Yeah, thank you. It's all modulations, baby. I want to draw Slaying Kirby. You should. Landino jazz, Landinian jazz chords. Oh, I would love that. Was theory. The tuning sounds soulful almost. James is very good at that. Well, I listen to a lot of jazz. You know, it's like you can get weird real quick with your chords. Like, you know, this is a normal B flat minor chord, right? If I did bass normal chords in my music, it would be, you know, longer than me, and that's fine. But that's not how I roll. I'm like, let me be extra. Like let me just add some hot sauce to this. That's what I want to do, because I want to add those extra little spicy chord values to this the chord progression. Do I like jazz? I love jazz. You like jazz? So I blah 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 blah. But let's talk about the. By the way, that piano sound is actually not the piano in the game. That's the piano from my keyboard for showing you guys ideas. Let me be extra. Those who don't like extra music, I know. I mean, some people don't like extra music. I don't know. Maybe you're like, fuck extra. I want bland white bread music. That's fine. White bread's good too. I love white bread. Adir, good to see you, man. For those who don't know, if this is Adir, who I think it is, right? Is this Adir the Dream? Is this my boy Adir? No Shade Roads Adir? Anyways, we're having a fun time going through SAYU right now. And what was your favorite song to work on in NSR? 1010. Definitely 1010. All right. So let's talk about, before I forget this question, let's talk about the piano. am I even using piano in this section? Let's find out. Harmony. I'm actually not using piano in this section. But, so to answer your question, Cherry, the piano that I use normally is called Contact Piano in Blue. This is my go-to piano sound, and it's very warm. I love this sound. I love this piano sound very much. Oop, this one. And to be honest, it's not that warm anymore because I have processing on it. If I turn the OTT off right here, it'll probably sound a little warmer. Oops. It's very warm. It's a great piano sound. It's like $50. Get this. It's really good. Really, 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 really good. That's what I use. Scorped. Thank you for the follow. Ourware. Thank you for the follow. Phase 3 of 1010 is a godsend. It's my favorite part of all musical ideas. It's my favorite moment of music that I wrote for the game. Hot sauce piano. Keep doing a amazing job. Always fantastic to see more and more about the behind the scenes. Thank you. Appreciate it. What was the most difficult song to work with SNR? That's a good question. I want to say Yinu, because we had to because I had to revise that because that was the first song and the first level that the developers made for the game as a proof of concept. That as a result has to be the thing that we revised the most, because when you made something 3 years ago, now you gotta polish it up 3 years later and over that time span in between. So I would say Uni was the most difficult because I definitely had to rewrite that a few times for what the game needed. I'd say it's the hardest, but it was worthwhile. It was worth it. This song completely added on SAYU absolutely perfectly. I'm a sucker for music that matches the character. Good. I'm glad to hear. Yeah. Super Mario Brothers. Did I say that? Did I say ASNR? Yes, ASNR. My favorite musical listening experience. James, I wish you could stay longer, listen, but I still heavy, might fall asleep. Totally understand, Zedit. Thank you so much for coming by. Appreciate it. This will be on VOD and on YouTube probably soon. Her rock theme hits different. It does, dude. I love the rock theme. But I'm biased because I read the song. Classical that conveys her emotion made my favorite music. For sure. No judgment. It's Tatiana's theme really let me down compared to every other. Aw. No, I really like Tatiana's theme. I really enjoyed writing that. It's too bad. Let's see. All right, so where am I? I got distracted because I'm already like, talking a lot. Let's talk about the harmony. So actually, yeah, let's start with the melody first. So I'll go down in order. No, wrong section. Just kidding. Phase 3. So the only thing we have in the melody section, right? The Hensey thing for the follow. That's the only melody I have. And I'm just using a preset idea from Serum. It's nothing special. It's just a little extra little thing to change up the sections. Right. We could talk about the harmony. Is pretty straightforward too. I think it's just, oh no. Cool Sister. Thank you for the follow. Very poppy, kind of like poppy EDM, poppy like synth pop energy. Alvizier. Thank you for the follow. I hope I didn't butcher that too much. Bro, I got stuck for about 5 hours fighting Mother. Was it that hard? Osjin. Thank you so much for the follow. Osjin or Osjin? Thank you. Also, very Kirby energy. Oh my god, so many follows. Let me talk. 07 Show, thank you for the follow. Austria Jin, baby. Is that what it is? Okay. What up, Austria? Shoutouts to Woodland. My favorite country. Wood Österreich. Def Ponini. Thank you so much for the follow, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, so talking about Kirby music for a second. I did not butcher that. I nailed it. I always associate a lot of like Kirby music and a lot of like kind of, even if it's not true, it's actually not true at all, but I associate the time a lot of Kirby music and a lot of like kind of like chiptune music with a square sound. So I had the square sound that I use for the bass to change it up. It's just that change up because we in phase 1 2, you know, it's not as intense, right? The bass is just kind of like bum, 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 bum. But now we're in phase 3. We want to get lit. So now I want the bass to reflect that. Are there any other kind of references in your songs? What do you mean by references? Go away. I did not fill it back up. I think my favorite part of the song is actually the beginning for some reason. I like it too. It's a really just like bobby groovy, like kind of like, you would love a lot of drum and bass. That I think that is the most drum and bassy part of the song, in my opinion. Say a song makes me go feeling kind of shellfish. I'm just feeling a little, listen man, it's not you, it's me. I'm just feeling a little shellfish, you know? Good joke, James. Thanks. Great pun. Associating chip music with the square is pretty understandable. Retro video game music could be considered primitive due to how... Yeah, exactly. No, I understand. But Korean music does not usually use squares for bass. But in my heart, I knew why I did for that reason. I think my favorite part of the SAYU theme is either the last or second to last phase. I'll get to that later. I'm going to get to that next. Archangel, how you doing? But once again, let's talk about variability for a second, right? So the whole song is just, you know, this like big epic moment, like. Oh, just kidding. No vocals. Where's the vocals at? Great job, James. You're a terrible masterclass teacher. All right. Let's talk. Who is the voice of the song? I need to know. Nikki Simmons. She's amazing. Nikki's really good. N-I-K guy. Yeah, you guys got it. You know what's up. But so once again, so in phase 2, I briefly, for those of you who were not here earlier, remember, I used as kind of a call and response effect for variability's sake. I have a vocal processing effect on differing takes of her singing, right? So right here, she has, you know. And that's the original voice that we have for her. And then for this part, it sounds different, right? A little bit, because I have this effect on called pitch wheel, and it just brings the timbre down ever so slightly. If I, right? Right? So that effect, it makes it just a little bit different from the first part of the chorus, the second part of the chorus. Just a little, I heard that too laggy. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's the slight difference to just make it feel a little more robotic, but not in your face. It's just a little different. Oh yeah, no singer change. Always go follow. Oh yeah. What OS do you think is better for producing? OS. I like Macs, but it doesn't really matter. It's up to you. The handling's a little differently, but it's the same thing. I've done both. She deserves so much love. Also, whoever picked her knew what they were doing. Well, I already worked with her once on Citus, and I was like, let's get her again, and she crushed it. Sounds like she's singing to a fan. Kinda. It's kind of weird, but for people who you don't notice it until it's there. Also, Archangel, thank you for the follow. Odin Valhalla. Can't read usernames. Thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, so it's just subtle enough. And you might be saying, was it worth it? Debatable, right? So that's kind of what's going on with the vocals there. I wanted to just point out a little bit, because we can get weird real quick with that, but I didn't want to go there. So talking about the writing for a second now. So the first half of this, you know, is the chorus is, you know, the whole epic thing of like, right? And then we do it again, right? Another 16 bars, we do that same thing again. Big thing with variability, you want, if you're gonna use the same ideas and loop them, you gotta change the arrangement a little bit. And so that's why the first half is like, and then the second half is like, it's just a little subtle change in feeling. It's still intense groove, but it's just different enough where you're like, all right, I like the variability here. I'm down with this little change up, this little switch up. Ooh, 7 Dan, thank you for the follow. Mayday is saying to her face that she wasn't real. And once again, to prove the conspiracy theory is wrong on this, Mayday does not sing. Mayday is not singing in the song. I'm sorry to anyone who thought that Mayday thought she was singing in this song. It's not true. Sorry, gamers. It's crazy how many details and touches go in these songs. A lot. And to be honest, this is on the simpler side, because I kind of need to be. Kashimeru, thank you for the follow. I said that with a Japanese phonetics to it. Kashimeru. I'm still going to headcanon it anyway. That is perfectly fine. Your video game is your oyster shellfish. That'd be cool if she did TOT. Oh, time. TOT. Anyways, I thought at first, House on 24 says, that's Ilton, right? Yes, it's Ilton. Yep, you bet. Yeah, it sounds just different enough. And I did that on purpose for that reason. And, you know, I like it. I like the little change. I was curious to know why Versailles didn't get an official instrumental release. Well, if enough people voice it, I'm sure we could put it out there in the world. I'd be down. But that's not up to me, unfortunately. It's up to the publishers of the video game. Sold Out. But if you voice it to Metronomic and Sold Out, then we can make it happen. It's all about what you guys want. We are here to make gamers happy, and upset also, but also happy in the end. That's how games work, right? I think. So the last thing I want to really cover, unless anyone has questions about anything along the way, is the last 8 bars of phase 3. You know, which is, you know. Can't fight the currents of right, so that delay of that effect in her vocals, that love, that's a very common thing you would hear in a lot of drum and bass music. And so I made sure to put that in there because drum and bass. And that is in right here. So I have a delay effect. That effect is delay. Right here. It's tucked away in the middle. Woo! Your show is so good, it makes us happy. My music is very energetic and very uplifting, despite me low-key and being this emo, cynical person under the hood. Not really, but there's truth to that. Whatever. Right, so this delay right here that I'm circling around my mouse cursor, that's the effect. I know, I'll drink water! And it's a great effect. And that effect just, once again, thinking about sound and variability, especially in a loop. If you hear this loop 1,000 times, you're gonna get sick of it, in my opinion. Max 010, thank you for the follow, dude. Right, so I want to still have the feeling of vocals, but I don't want vocal audio. I don't want her singing over those last 8 bars. So that's what that effect was accomplishing. Just enough variability, because once again, if you loop this whole thing. Can't fight the currents of love. Hey, you. Can't fight the currents of love. It just kind of cuts off awkwardly. It's not nice transition, so I need that 8 bars to kind of just kind of wrap us all around back to the beginning. That's how this works. This song is so good. Damn. A brainwash effect. That effect broker. Yeah. Dude, apparently, a lot of people are telling me online, like, man, I've never heard this game, but I love the song, and now I'm gonna check the game out. And that's fucking awesome. I don't think anyone expected the kind of response that SAYU has. But I'm glad people like it. But yeah, video game music. Always think about variability. Always think about how loops play out. If you are a game composer, put this in your brain. We're always thinking about those things, because we always think about the worst case scenario, which is people get stuck. From a composer's perspective, I'm thinking about, all right, I got this loop of music, and people can get stuck and be like, yo, fuck this music, after like 3 minutes. You sold copied. What does that mean? What does that mean? Saves me amazing. Damn, dude. Hell yeah, let's go, Rare. So yeah, always think about just think about how a gamer would play a game if you're writing game music. Anyways. Moving on. That's phase 3 in a nutshell. We're 2/3 of the way done. You know, we have the transition here. So I wonder if I can find the old version of SAYU. So originally, this transition was actually going to be the transition into the chorus, but we moved it. And so I actually wrote 16 bars. This was going to be like part of like the verse section originally. This was like way long ago. And I was like, okay, we can't use it right now because of how we're making the game differently. But I still want to keep this idea. So I decided to make it into a transition part just by itself. And just, it's this really nice change up, I think, compared to the rest of the song. And yeah, I know everyone's like, here it comes. Here, you like that cat in that Shaq gif. The cat is like, the cat's like, Conlin Arts. I wonder if you did some of the EDM tracks. Did the other artists make some of the song and you did the cover? No, so we alternated. So in this one, I did the bass version, and then Funk Fiction did the EDM version. And at other times, like in Supernova, Funk Fiction did the bass version, and I did the EDM version. So we alternated around. Steverman, hey. Waffles and milk. Hey man, I appreciate the creativity you input these pieces. When you started the song, what vibe were you trying to achieve with it? As I've said before, a bunch in the stream, excuse me for reiterating for others, thinking about technology, my thoughts were technology and ambience, right? So, thinking about, you know, what sounds make someone feel like we're in a vast ocean, right? What kind of sounds make you feel like we're in a technological space? So how do you create a vast space that feels technological? That's kind of where my head was at. Now we need Camellia to remix SAYU's theme and we got the perk song I made. Dude, I love Camellia. I hope they do something cool. Maybe. One can dream, man. I would love to collaborate with Camellia. I would buy the game myself, but I wouldn't get farther than 10/10, and I know it. I mean, it's fine. You could still buy the game, you know. Or listen to get the soundtrack. Fuck it. Fuck it. Or just stream it. Whatever. We got you covered, gamer. Alright. I'm not giving it to you just yet. I'm gonna make you wait for that moment. Right? But so the only reason why that transition is so much more so the only reason why that transition is so much more what's the word? Musically complex compared to the rest of the song even is because it's a transition phase, so I can get away with it. In transition phases, we don't have to worry about other versions of the song getting in the way. So I was just like, fuck it, right? I could do a little more cooler chords and get a little funkier. It was a lot of fun actually. I'm glad I did that in the end. Yeah. Pretty straightforward. I can't imagine anyone has any real questions on this section because it's like, you know, a transition phase. Ooh wee woo wee wow wow. But we have the melody line right here, which is just a serum synth that I made. It's very straightforward. It's just saws with a little bit of square in them and the comb filter to make it a little spicy. It's nothing special. Trademark. Ah. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, so that's pretty much how I made that sound. It's very simple. Saw, square wave, you know, compress and distort. It's nothing really, you know, to talk about. Steverman 5555. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, that's me. Not special, but super fun. Yeah. To be honest, that's kind of was the idea. So when I originally wrote that section way long ago, that was actually what I was going for. Was actually Higher Potions. So shout out to Higher Potions if they exist in this chat or in the ethos of the internet. Shout out to them. Oh, thank you, Trademark. I appreciate it. That's what pushed me to look more into it and find you. Say, really? Well, I'm glad to hear. Hell yeah. All right. Let's go to what everyone wants. I know everyone wants the chance. It's kind of ridiculous. That whole section is fucking ridiculous, and everyone knows it. I'll be the first to say it's fucking ridiculous. I'll be even more honest. When they told me what they want to do with that section, I believe this was like because this was what the creators, the directors wanted the game. They were like, we want a chant section. I was like, is this gonna sound good? I don't know about this, but okay. And then it fucking grew on me, and I was like, all right, okay, Soundflower, you gotta chill. Okay. Yep. So once again, so she made like 5 or 6 different chants, and a lot of those aren't even in this version. They're only heard. I don't think they're even in the game even. But so yeah, she made all these chants for SAYU. All right, here. See chants for
1, 2, 3, 4, motion on the ocean 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, double bubbles for some more.
What is this? Little member shift. Oh, okay. Child unknown, thank you for the follow, dude. Not sure if you answered the question before, but speaking of Higher Potions, did you have any main inspiration for video game production? I mean, my inspirations come from everywhere, and you know, Higher Potions, Kevin and Ian, they're friends of mine. They're good friends of mine, and they're awesome producers. I am inspired by them as I am by most of my music friends. They're all really good. Did I come up with the lyrics for SAYU? No, I did not. That was Nikki. And so Nikki wrote like tons of lyrics for this song that aren't even in the final version because we were going to use it for gameplay only reasons. Nikki's, yeah, she's so good. Right, so if I even pull this up, that sound is so awful. Some plugins do that, by the way. They're really dumb and stupid. So if you can see right here, can you see right here? No, you can't actually. What if I do this, actually? If I go to show in browser, just kidding, I can't do that. All right, I can't show you, but so chance 4 is indicating that there are other chants that are not in the final game. They're there though. I promise you they're there. Maybe someday we'll go through them, but I can't right now because I don't want to destroy this stream and ruin everything. But so fun fact, so chants, basically phase 4 compositionally speaking is a combination of phase 2 and phase 3's ideas. But now I have the chance to make just things just a little different. Because now we're getting to the part of the song where like phase 4 is just kind of like this kind of this epic moment. Brady, thank you for the follow. I actually started making a Geometry Dash level of using this song if it's okay. Yeah, of course. It means all fan made, so I have no issue with that. I don't think I can't promise you it won't get copyright flagged, but I'm pretty sure it won't. I've gotten this question before, and I believe everyone tells me, no, you're fine, you should be good. Brady, thank you, I appreciate it. Do you have the original audio for the chance? Play them. I do, but it won't. If I go out of this window, it's gonna complain and freak out to me. Ah, fuck it. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Let's see. If I go to it's secret exclusive. You're gonna hear other chants not shown in the game. All right, so here we go. So here we got chance 4. We got chance 1. Let's pull up like chance 1. Professor Tom, AD, thank you for the follow. Froggy with fries, thank you for the follow. Hell yeah. All right, let's go back in. So here we go. We got chance. The chance in here. Here we go. Chance, exclusive chance we got now. I'm gonna move these boys here and move these boys here. Okay. Where are these chants? Let's find out together, shall you?
1, 2, 3, 4, motion on the ocean floor. 5, 6, 7, 8, double bubbles.
Okay, so maybe it's not different. Maybe I'm wrong.
1, 2, 3, 4, 7, jamming everywhere. 5.
Nope, I'm full of shit. I think the chants were there. I think I'm full of shit in that one, actually. I think the chants were there just for different variability. So I'm sorry to get your hopes up. I think I'm wrong about that in the end. I thought she made other chants. For this, but I guess I'm wrong. God damn it. Sorry, gamers. I'm sorry to let you down one last time. So you're the mess up behind the song I can't stop listening to. I sure have. I'm not really a master, and I'm a bit too minded. I did make my bed. What are you talking about? Fuck. Wait. My bed's fine. I had to sit on it earlier for the stream. Oh my god. Fuck you, mods. Mods are assholes. You mods are jerks. I'm gonna ban the mods, and then true anarchy will reign on this stream. No, the pillows are by design. God, you fucking guys, listen. You come over and make my bed, okay? You come make my bed and make my stream look nice. And people are like, James, why are you doing a green screen? Green screens are lame. So fine, I'll fucking make my bed. Now it's the bed's not made, James. Can you guys ever be happy? I thought we were chill. You're not chill. Is being an asshole part of the qualifications to mod your streams? Absolutely. In fact, it's kind of a requirement. Katie Kali, did I say it correctly? Thank you for the follow. If you're near a mod, let me know. I would love to. Actually, can I mod you right now? I trust you with I'll do it after the stream because I don't know how to do it right now and I don't want to break things. Alex, this is true. Actually, she actually could come over and make my bed, but I won't because Corona. Aw, what if I leave? What if I leave for like 15 minutes and then you come over? Thank you, Child Unknown. Thank you for being a true fan, supportive of me. Well, I don't use a green screen, but the background pictures the picture of your room anyway. I could do that. You're right. I could do that, and then could be like, ooh, it's my background, but not really. Maybe I'll do that and make you think. Maybe I will do that, but I won't tell you when's a green screen and when's not. You know what? An all-right orchestrated mess is how you could sum up my music. So when is it going to hire you for the next Sonic game? I I don't know how to answer this in a joking way without going to the real answer of it, so I'm just not gonna answer that question. It should be a video actually, right? Just like someone like walking around behind the scenes. It should, yeah, it'll be a video of Alex making my bed. That's the video loop. Man, oh man. All right, let's see. All right, but back to Phase 4 Chance. Let's go back to Chance. I love the production of this though. I love, like, before the vocals came in, I like this part. So originally, we were gonna have some kind of like enemy attack for those laser sensors, pew, 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 right? These boys right here, these boys. Which I made in Serum, for those of you who are curious as a producer. That's just LFO on, once again, the coarse pitch, the pitch. LFO to the pitch, which creates that nice little effect. Everyone's like, that's all it is. Just using just simple waves, LFO in the pitch, and you're good to go. It's great. You hear a lot of electronic music. It's a really easy sound to make. But never play out loud. That is not true. I want you blasting this at every stoplight. I'll do it. I do it sometimes. Let's go. When I'm driving to LA and there's tons of traffic, you bet your butt I'm going off like. Of course you gotta do that. Of course you gotta do that. That's the only way to do it. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Once again, arpeggios to just kind of fly in the space of music and ambience. You'll never hear it unless you know it's there, but now you know it's there, so you better listen for it. It's very subtle. Very simple. It's very simple ideas. You have the delay from Phase 1, that delay pad sound, that you have that boy, and you have the filters. Just kind of keep a little groove. It's very straightforward compared to the other sections as well that we kind of covered already. Yeah, we're pretty much on the home stretch. Why road rage when you can love? I appreciate that. That's what I'm doing, Brett. Like if you know that one video of the guy playing Osu and dancing hard, that's me, right? No, someone made a meme of that. I've seen it somewhere. Someone posted it. I really love it. That's an old meme too. Is that still a thing? Cracks me up. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I don't know if we want to cover anything else in this section. I go absolutely nuts this part. I'll play it whenever I'm on the freeway just for you. Good. I hope you inspire others to dance with you on the highway. Yeah, Phase 4 is pretty straightforward, and now we're back to the the transition. What does LFO and Serum do? Good question. So in LFO, okay, producer talk time. So LFOs are called low frequency oscillators. So an oscillator generates sound. Now a low frequency oscillator means that it's a sound. It's technically a sound or produces a sound that's lower than what our ears can hear. And the kind of crazy thing with the low frequency oscillator is that I have to say this technically incorrectly. So it's at a very low frequency below than what our ears can process. And so the low frequencies allow us, when you have a low frequency, inputting into, I have to say this correctly, you can signal flow an audio signal into a synth. And then that synth is processed with that wave. I'm saying so jargony or abstractly, so I apologize. That makes no fucking sense. Basically, LFOs change shit. It shapes the sound based on the wave that you have. And so this curve right here, that's the pitch that's being adjusted. So if that's the bottom of our pitch right here, you can see it. Right? Well, right? If I did this, now we're Pac-Man, like, whoa, right? But instead, right? And that's different than even like this little scoop right here is really important, right? If I had this all the way in the beginning, it's more Saturn-y and less lasery. It's less whirl and more pew, right? But with that little like curve in the beginning, it's just enough to make it a little. because sound design, sound design talk time for producers. Cool conversation, everyone. Kick drums. The way that kick drum sounds are made in sound design is that it's actually just a really fast pitch sweep. So LFOs are used to create kick drums. And that really quick scoop that you see right here, but on a faster scale, creates that effect, right? Right? And if I go crazier, right? It like, if I'm not gonna change the whole sound right now because I don't want to ruin the whole project, but like that would create a kick drum eventually. That's how this works, right? So LFOs are your best friend. They're the shit. And if you're making any kind of cool sounds, generally think about LFOs because little details go a long, long, long way. Very straightforward. Music production. Right. Well, he is a DJ. Sometimes, not right now. Right now I'm a retired DJ. Because Corona. Oop, it's time to land Drinko. Time to drink some water. Animator Radar. Thank you for the follow. Animator Raider. Thank you for the follow. Radar? Animator. Thank you for the follow. Man. Wait, hold on. Quick question. From the end of the chant section going to the build-up of the last section, what are the 4 chords that go into the build-up? It's for that level I mentioned. Which 4 chords? The 4 chords that go into the build-up. Which 4 chords are you referring to? Let me play the piano right now and pull it up. So this one that goes that part. That part? No, you're talking about you're talking about that one, right? That. So I'm glad you brought that up again. Yes, that. So that's called a modulation sequence. Meaning, so I said it earlier for phase 3, but it's fine. We'll go over again because I love that shit anyway. So modulations, basically we have our chord value, which is a minor 7. We're playing E minor 7. Oops, just kidding. E minor 7. Now we're playing F minor 7, G flat minor 7, A flat minor 7. It's all minor 7. We're just changing the chord note. The value is the same. And so that is that sequence. And what I do often, whenever you hear music and you're like, whoa, it's going all over the place, right? That's a modulation sequence sometimes, right? When I do like, that's modulation, right? So same thing here. Modulation. It's just minor 7s all the way through. And you hear that a lot in dance music even. You know, it's like what I'm doing, like you do like you hear that all the time in like dance music, especially in, like, you know, in classic dance music. That's also modulation. It's just E minor, B minor, D minor, A minor. It's just all minors. And you can do that all the time. It's a really great compositional effect. Yeah, it actually is Streets of Rage. Streets of Rage does it all the time. That's actually a great example. I wonder, would you ever sell this project for people to practice and experiment with? I wish I could, but I technically don't. I'm not allowed to. If I have to get permission to do so. But in theory, yeah, I would love to do that. It's not a bad idea for other songs if people are interested. The intro to part 4, though, the part slaps so hard. If I had money, I would beg for you to extend it. Technically, it was extended. If I can pull up the old version somehow, I would show you guys the older version, which is not very good writing, but it exists. It absolutely exists, and maybe I have time. I'll look for it before the stream ends. Yeah, no, this section, no, not that one. This one. So originally, that was the verse section. The original sketch of this song, that was the verse, and I produced that out, and the vocals were gonna be on that part, and then I changed it later on because of reasons, for game development reasons. But yeah, no, this was that was the original undercurrents. It was gonna be like, you know, that's what it's gonna be. That was the idea. That was gonna be the original. it's gonna be kind of gospely solely, like kind of this kind of cool like thing. But once again, I'm not making gospel. I'm making idol music, so I have to shift my focus a little bit. But hey, if someone wants to make a gospel version, if someone gospel sings, I will make that with you. I'm down. Who wants to? Get me a gospel choir, we'll go off, dude. Idol gospel. Let's go. James, when are you gonna cover Nicki's vocals? Don't you hear me singing to my heart, spirit content? Gospel SAYU. Right? Like I could totally just be like, let's see if this works. Let's see if I just totally just be like,
Undercurrents pull at your heart, feeling so powerful it leads you on. The waves of emotion wash over me, but can you see the ocean?
you get the idea. It's so stupid, but I can just be so wacky and goofy. It's not gonna get to come up on the stream, yeah? Wait, what do you mean? Check Discord. What? Uh-oh. No, I won't check Discord then. Alright, I won't do that. I'll check my phone. I know, right? Alright, I'm not gonna check Discord. Yeah, dude. We like, that's what's so fun here. Like, if I had all the time and freedom in the world, that is the best. I would actually music. I hope so. Man, I've always, like, I love gospel music. I've gotten into it in the past few years. Like, I always want like some like gospel version of like Sonic, like. Ooh, I love that. I love that. I love that. I would love Church 40 gospel. Dude, right? That'd be so sick. I would do, once again, if you give me a gospel choir, Falk, I'm not, someday, when it makes sense, we're going to get a gospel choir, and we're going to do it for a game soundtrack, and it's going to be awesome. He brought it up again. Honestly, could get paid good money to create theme songs for original characters. I would love to. I'm down. Yeah, dude, it's, so, we can get goofy real quick when it comes to jazz and revoicing things. This is why when I talk about making the SAYU bass version, like, I had to keep it simple because I want to get goofy and be like, oop, not that goofy. That's just bad chords. That's not that goofy. But anyways, you get the point, right? Like, we can just go off all day, and that's why the 10-10 moment in the bam boom bam bam. That's like my one little moment to like, all right, let me go off. Just let me go off, gamers. Stand back. I'm get a little crazy. I linked the first draft of SAYU on Discord. Let's play on stream. I'll handle asking permission later. Ooh. Okay. I'll get it after. All right. Exclusive. Stream exclusive. I'm sure it'll be fine. I wish I could get into video music writing, but all I can make is shitty orchestral arrangements. No, you just got practice, dude. I've been writing music for not that you needed to do this, but for me personally, I've been doing this for 15 years, man. Shouts to Falk. Fuck's the homie. Yeah, no, but just keep working at it, and once you find your sound, you lock in, you're good to go. Just keep going. I swear I hear Sonic fan game music with gospel soundtrack, and I think of that GIF meme with the black dude dancing outside the car. I don't know that GIF. But yeah, gospel. I love it, dude. I think, like, you know, it's just, I've always wanted to do it. I'm just gonna, like, I think about that gospel choir with Evangelion, Cruel Thesis. I love that. I want a gospel boss fight. It sounds down. Dude, a gospel boss fight would be sick. I'm gonna write that idea down. I'm down. What key is this in again? So the key of SAYU is in one. It's one of two things. It's up to you to analyze it however you like, but it's in G flat minor, or we're in G flat major. Excuse me, would be the major version, and then the minor relative would be B flat minor, right? So however you want to analyze the song is up to you. I break things down in minor, so I say it's B flat minor, or, you know, G flat major. It's up to you. I can't play sales anymore. Nope, we're not gonna go there. And by the way, when we're talking about keys, that's why like they're called, when I talk about the modulation sequence of the, that chord, the third chord, that's not intended. That's not in part of the key, because if we're in B flat, it's cool sounding, but it's not technically part of the key, because that chord is not diatonic, is the correct term. Gospel EDM, baby, I'm down. Right, that's diatonic. That's diatonic. The diatonic version of that sequence would be, that's the diatonic version, right? If I did that sequence, but because I want to be cool and different and think I'm a special composer, I want to get all freaky and be all like, woo! And that's where you're like, ooh, something's a little different. It's just me as a gospel. That's Pixelbomb, Pixelbomb R. Kaiser. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I'm down. Dude. I would love to be like, I want like I want a subatomic supernova skin, but it's me. And then it's just a reflection of me being an egotistical asshole, like the guy that I really am, and deep down, don't you know who I am? I am James Landino. What have you done today, gamers? What have you done today, simps? Real X-Play. Hey James, would you what would you do with the Artorias boss fight music? What is Artorias? You're gonna have to help me on that one. I'm down. Metronomic sold out. Sign the check. I'll do it. Sign the check. I'm there, baby. All right. Chi Savage, what's up? Yeah, so that's phase 4. All that good stuff. Everyone's like 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. Have I played the game yet? No Shade Roads? Yes, I worked on it. Yes. Oh, okay, that's why. I'm not familiar with. I've played Dark Souls, but I'm so bad knowing the lore. Got it. I hope the NSR devs are taking notes from the stream. I think some of them are looking around. I'm sure they're sneaking and they're like, James, what are you doing? That's how developers talk. Like, My friends think I have a problem. I just keep listening to the song too much for them. They're weaklings, it seems. They clearly aren't strong enough, and strong. They're the hate, right? So when SAYU's like stronger than hate, she's talking about your roommates, your friends. Excuse me. That's them. They're the hate. You are strong. Wait, so since you like Sonic so much, you play Legendary Sonic 06? Of course. I believe have some of the best songs in this category, especially Silver's theme. Yeah, there's some great music. Jun Senoway's really fire. He's also very kind. I've met him a few times, and he's absolutely kind guy, super chill. I want Jazz on where Louis Armstrong stands in a boss fight. we'll see. I still think there should be an answer DLC that adds a boss fight that represents the actual dubstep type. I mean, we kind of did that. The reality is that dubstep just isn't really easy to work with when we're thinking about like dynamic audio, but I won't get into that sauce right now. That's for another conversation for another day. To push a video to a million views on your own. I know. Dude, shit's crazy. I mean, to be fair, like it's not just me, right? Like the developers were promoting it, and everyone's talking about it. It's all collective, work for this song to have so much, play. I'm really grateful. I want Dr. Felicia Bass Boss just on the style of Electro Sonic Slaps. I've been looking for the jump cover too. Yo, jump cover would be sick. If someone was like stronger. Did you see the Miko cover? Yes, I did. I really appreciate it. I don't tell people that I go through things, but I do my deep dive in. So if you made something that's like fan related to the music, I saw it, and I'm always like, I love it. I love all of it. I am biased because of course I am, but I love all when people make fan made things of all the piano arrangements I've seen, or like the MIDI arrangements. I think it's awesome. Yep, and that was RoboRob. If RoboRob's still in the chat, that was RoboRob who made that awesome dubstep version of Eve. The credit goes all to him. But yeah, let's get going. So we have this transition for the last phase, right? Not much is going on. I like this too. Right. So that fast phase, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it for real sec. So at the very end, we want a big switch up because naturally in the game, you know, SAYU becomes, spoilers, a big, huge fish monster thing, right? And so at that point, we want to do a whole, like, we want to, just like how the character changes, we need the music to change. It's very chaotic, very abrupt, kind of all over the place. And so we want the music to reflect that, right? So now we're going from drum bass to hardcore. You know, and to be honest, I didn't do a very good job in hindsight of making good hardcore, but we won't talk about that. Compositionally, I'm very happy with it. Right? It's absolutely ridiculous. I almost feel like the change those bells into a church organ type stand and you have a gospel version. Kind of though. If I do right, I won't pull it right now, because I want to talk about some things, but we'll get there. But yeah, so it's that point too, because we also knew that the vocals were not going to be her singing anymore because she's the fish robot thing now. So we, you know, at that point, I just need to make a good instrumental and have the melody do all the work of that section, right? If it plays at all, but it won't play. So that melody line is just layering. We have a straight up, very normal saw line. Very simple. See you later, gamers. So we have that synth line right there, and then we have the bells on top. Excuse you, bells on top. Where are you? Oh, that's why. And that is with, I love this synth so much. Chip Synth Porta FM is really good. It's really good. And if you want to make great bell sounds, you look into FM synthesis. Production terms. Woo! Very simple, very straightforward. Those bells are laid on top to accentuate that melody line. Because if you didn't have that, because when you're thinking about writing music, you want to think about what parts do you want the listener to care about. And so layering is a great effective way to get people to care about certain moments in your writing. And then the melody, you also have the the blah 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 blah, right? Just a little kind of like counter melody right here, right? Very distorted, right? Because once again, the simulation is breaking, right? In the music. So I want some kind of moments of just like kind of a little too distorted, but it's not overbearing, right? It's a really thick, full sound, and so I create a new bass just for this section right here. Some kind of resound. So I have a resound right here, which is a style of like a classic rave bass sound. Just giving a bit of width, right? And then we have this right here, which is kind of like the actual like meat. And then we have the, I don't know what you call it. Layering, I'm acting like I know what I'm talking about, but truthfully, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. This is from 3 years ago. But either way, these layers are intended to serve a purpose. One is just kind of like the actual sound of it, the normal grittiness, and then we have another kind of grit, and then we have another layer of grit. And so you just trial and error, you play around, you figure out what works, what you need. Most likely what I probably did was I probably started with this sound, which probably would have been fine. I probably didn't need the other layers. We won't talk about that. But for some reason I was like, you know what? Let's add more, because reasons. Right? If I do this, it's not the same kind of bass, but it still serves its purpose, right? Like I said, this was 3 years ago. I was not the best producer as I am now. Now I'm the best producer. but not back then. But yeah. It sounds like you're deep into the abyss. Oh, metaphorically and literally. A new EP album when? I would love to. I wanted to. There is no time to do it. There's no time ever to do these things. And once again, because we've been drum based the entire time, so now we gotta talk about the drums here briefly. The drums are like, and that's great. Go drum bass. But now we're in hardcore. Drum bass is now not that. Hardcore is Heartless Giratina. Giratina? Thank you for the follow. I hope I got that one of those things correctly. I work with Seg. Nah, okay. Does the game randomly generate the vocal parts? No. Yes. So the game does that, not me. That's why it's not part of the song. If it's not part of the song, then that was part of the game engine doing that work. Exactly. Do I have a Patreon? Technically, I do, but I don't use it anymore because reasons. Maybe I'll bring it back someday, but it won't be for what it was originally done for. But technically, yes, I do have a Patreon. Technically, it's still active, but I'm not using it ever. So, you're good. But by and large, this drums are pretty straightforward. It's just kind of like a more four-on-the-floor version of four-on-the-floor is a term that we use in dance music for kick drums on every, downbeat. Boom, 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 boom. It's true, though. Patreon takes a lot of work. It's a lot of work and time I don't really have to fulfill for it right now. But maybe. But yeah, drums are pretty straightforward. I can't imagine anyone has any questions about that. The drums are kind of remind me of some Sonic Heroes beats. Absolutely. Well, like the break parts, like that's the opening theme to Sonic Heroes, right? Excuse me. I just burped in the microphone. Go me. I'm a great streamer, I guess. And then what else we have? We have the harmony over here, which is it won't play because of my stems. Right. Pretty straightforward. Like, this is all pretty straightforward to the rest of the song. It's just rewriting it for four-on-the-floor energy. And that pumping effect, that's because of sidechain. Sidechain is a producer term that allows the kick drum to create that effect. And I'll show you right now real quick. Right? That's what's happening. So the kick comes in, and then the pad and the synth comes in after it. Right. So if I turn off the compression, we won't hear anything. Go James. But you get the point, though. What do you choose for sidechain usually? Just pads? So old me would do compressor and would do it the normal traditional way of using a compressor. Have right here you have the kick, triggering the sidechain to happen, right? And you can see right here. Every time all that value is creating that effect, right? Nowadays I don't do that. Now I use LFO tool, and there's other tools like it, like LFO tool, which is basically just like an LFO that creates that without having to sidechain anything. Did I go to school for music production? I did. I went to school at Berklee College of Music in Boston, and they have a electronic production course there that I majored in, with some emphasis in video game audio. People thought the game would get why people are talking about loading and shooting it as a K-pop track, because those would be completely lost. Yeah, exactly. The OST release treats the music album as much as the game soundtrack. Exactly. That is very true, and that is the trickiness of writing a game here, right? We didn't want to bog down with all the actual game sounds or game tracks we made that aren't really musical experiences on its own. Not UC Berk. I went to Berklee College of Music in Boston. Two completely different things. UC Berk is Berkeley with a Y. Berkeley in Boston is Berkeley with an E. That was not an E, but love and sound everywhere. Oh, sorry. I meant, what kind of layers would you apply sidechain to? Pad types. Honestly, everything. Like, it really depends, Jewel Maiden. So, traditionally speaking, as a normal mix of a song, you would put it on frequencies where, so if the kick is a bass predominant instrument, you would do it to other bass instruments, like a bass guitar. But in that's traditional sense. Like usually, like if you're making like a rock song, you have the kick triggering most likely just the kick and the bass would be sidechain. That's it. But in electronic music, that's not the case. And a lot of times, they're sidechaining literally everything. The kick and the snare sometimes will be literally sidechaining everything, or triggering sidechain to everything. So it's really up to you on what the sound calls for. But don't feel like there are any kind of rules or patterns to things. It's really up to you. I've done both of just doing a kick drum affecting the bass guitar and a kick drum affecting literally every single instrument in my song. So it's up to you. Sidechaining, hooray! And then anything else we really talk about? You know, that's the filter pad we had from the whole song. We have, you know, the right, very straightforward. It's pretty simple stuff based on just a rearrangement of ideas I've already presented through the older phases. Not too much to say. Right, I have this fun arpeggio sound over here. Which is, once again, arpeggiation. Like, without the arpeggiation sound, this arpeggiating boy right here, turn it off. It's just, you know, gonna be not very interesting. If I turn it back on, it's very ravey. I don't know what sidechains really are. I just know Louis Zong made a video about them and I love how they sound. Yeah, they sound great. They're very important in music in 2020. All the thought going into every step of the track is honestly what makes me like it most. I'm glad to hear you care a lot about your compositions and it hits better that way. I'm actually really glad to hear about that. I love when I like my own music very much. So I'm glad you enjoy as much as I do. There's so many things going on that I never caught on to. Yeah. That's kind of by design because I don't want you to notice every little thing, right? There are a lot of times where I want you to only feel certain things, especially like this filter pad right here. You might not notice it, but it's there. Or you might not notice the pad up top. So I don't want you to notice every element. I want you to notice certain elements, and I want you to feel other elements. And that's the trick to good production. What tip would you give to someone who wants to make music for a video game? That's such a broad question. If you want music for a game, and from like a professional lens, start writing music that is specifically intended for video games. Like make loops, make video game loops, and then try splicing it into some like clip of gameplay footage and see how it feels. Loop it in the video and see how it feels, right? If you get some, you know, video footage with no music in the background, just sound effect, and you put your own music in it and see how it feels, try it. That's a great way to get into it, and learn a lot in the process. I'm totally into liking your own music, but put more of what you want to see on the world. Yeah, exactly. That is literally why I started writing music. The whole reason why I started writing music was because I hated the music I heard. And I thought I hated music, and I was like, you know what? I feel really stupid for hating music. So you know what? I'm gonna go write my own music that I like. That is the reason I started doing this in the first place. So yeah, that's kind of the nuts and bolts of everything here. I think I've covered most things. You know, I'll talk compositioning for a second. Let me pull up the piano and turn this off. You know, so in phase 1 and 2, you know, right, we have that was the main chorus phase, right? We had that phrase, but now we're in the last phase, and I don't want to use that same idea again because I want to change things up. So now we're gonna go from the G flat to the B flat. Now we're going to E flat. Part of good composition writing is knowing how to use the same chords and arrange them differently so they create different emotional contexts, right? These chords I'm playing, you know, those are like the most basic chords of the song. I've just presented them for the past 5 minutes. But if you rearrange, if you go from, if you do that versus, it's gonna feel different. Oh man, Gary, thank you for the host, dude. Thank you for OBS shout out. What up? By the way, Gary. By the way, for everyone who doesn't know, Gary is cruel to corgis in video games. This man is dangerous. Dude, that clip I saw last night was fucking hilarious. Holy shit, dude. That clip was so fucking funny. I watched it so many times. It's just this unload corgi. I'm like, no, don't do it. For those of you who don't know, go follow this man right here. He's a great streamer. He streamed No Shit Roads and it was a fucking blast. Go follow this man. Absolutely incredible streamer. How many see corgis in games? I feel like it's like yeah. So I think it was in Sea of Pirates. He had a corgi and he put the corgi in the cannon and fucking stupid. And the best part is here's the thing too. Here's what's so fucked up. The developers let you do that because they had a specific sound effect for the corgi going like as it flies away. They had a fucking sound effect for the corgi flying. It's proof. So you know what, Gary? You're not the sick one. It's us, the game developers. We're the fucked up ones who gave you the ability to do that. It's fucking incredible, dude. Dude, he's absolutely hilarious. I'm not gonna go to I don't want to spoil other reasons why. Go watch if it's on a VOD somewhere. If there's a VOD somewhere, you have to watch the No Straight Roads playthrough of this man playing that game. It is fucking hilarious, and I don't want to spoil it. Anyways, back to bullshit. What was I even talking about? I remember. Yeah. So composition, right? If you rearrange chords differently, you can create different effects emotionally, right? So this is the original SAYU chord progression that I've been doing the whole fucking time, right? But now going. It's the same fucking thing, more or less, just arranged differently. And you may be wondering, well, how does it feel differently? Well, that's for you to decide, because I'm not you. But my point being, like this is like a feeling of like, okay, we're going somewhere. Now we're here. We're at the resolution of what I want, right? But if I'm doing this, we're going somewhere. Okay, why are we here already? Oh, now we're going somewhere else now? Right? I'm kind of faking you out with different expectations, emotionally speaking, through the different chord progression arrangements. So basically, what I'm trying to get at, folks, is I'm trying to take these chords and manipulate your brain into creating expectations and then subverting them. And that's what makes you go like, ooh, I like this. This is different than what I thought. Ram thought, but I wonder how a Tolkien artist would have played. Like in the game, you mean? This song is mind control. Video games are mind control. It kind of is though. Like I am purposely thinking about, how can I make the listener like this and feel this way? I'd be down. Chip Team Boss, we sound tight. Oh man. But yeah, that's kind of the whole nut and bolts of everything. I've been covering this for over 2 hours now. God damn, I gotta keep hydrating. But that's basically the whole song. I don't know if anyone has any questions about SAYU or anything I kind of covered, or if you came in too late. That's everything. If I can pull it up, let me pull it up real quick. Since Falk says he has it, we're gonna show you the old SAYU track that I originally made. It probably is a hot mess, and I'll be embarrassed to show it, but it's fine, right, guys? I'm gonna make sure it's in the other window so you can't see. You can see my lovely default Mac Discord background. Hooray! Default Discord background. All right, so we're gonna, here you go. Digital Idol Draft 1. All right, let's do it. I'm sure it'll be fine. You have my permission. Ha ha ha. Hell yeah, who followed me? I will look at you in a second. Because my window is covered with things. I'm gonna delete that. I do this real quick. Uh-oh. Osmotus. Osmotus? Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I have cake questions. You better not. We're not going there. We're not talking about cake. I will not. I wonder if it's just an actual robot or just some kind of AI. Well, we gotta play the game to find out. Alright, so now I have a song. So now I'm pulled up. So let's pull up the old version. This is Digital Idol Draft. Wow, look at that lovely squashed sausage. What does it even sound like? Oh my god. Okay. What the hell would I do here? Alright. Exclusive. I'm gonna be like that Xbox guy. Magma Lamp 21. Thank you for the follow. I'm gonna be like that like Xbox World exclusive. That's been done for like every single like fucking E3 trailer for the past like 10 years, like world exclusive. World premiere. I sound like the Halo like announcer like oh, so stupid. Alright, let's play the song. Oh wait, hold on. I gotta fix something. Oh no, I don't want to fix it. Alright, we're good. Alright. This is so for context, this is the old draft version from how old is this? Do I have a date on here? I don't. Never mind. The end. But it's really fucking old. It's not that different so far. There since the original. The drums are a little different. Yeah. I remember this now. This is where the vocals were gonna come in. It was totally different. Just a, yeah. You gotta imagine the vocals on here. There's the fill. And that's it. That's all she wrote. So I remember now. I originally had those lasers as kind of like those I believe those lasers were going to be like the 8-bar variants in the chorus section. It wasn't actually going to be its own phase. That chant part and the lasers came later. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. But yeah, it's just like the verse was so different. I remember because at the time we had no clue what the vocals were going to be, and neither did I, to be honest. I had no idea what it was going to be either. So like, right? Like, it's just such a different vibe. And we had no idea either how the gameplay would be either. This is all conceptual. the idea, right? So yeah, it was just a completely different vibe and everything else, and it's yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoy it. It's so weird for me to listen to this because it's like old. It's like SAYU already feels old to me because I wrote it so long ago, but this is like old on old music. This is like this is like it sounds so rough to me. Oop, time to land Drinko. Coolio Dudo. I did, but I can go over it again briefly, real quick. The chords and the lead up to the 1, 2, 3, 4 phase. Yes. So those chords. So I showed everyone the draft version, in which where that idea was expanded upon a lot more, and then I took part of it out for just a transition phase because I really liked it. What was I gonna say? But yeah, so the chords are. Did you want like the actual chords? Is that what we're looking for? Maybe. But anyways, yeah, it's just very. It's like it's the chords I used in the draft version, which is. Oh, just can't play chords. Like the G flat major 7. We got a really fancy F7 chord, F dominant 7. Where you have like this special note right here. That is a sharp. A flat 9? No, flat 13. Just kidding. So you have F minor. You have F G flat major 7. I'm so bad at chords. G flat major 7. F dominant 7. Not flat 13 because I'm a fancy extra composer. Then you have the B flat minor 7. And then you have A flat. A flat more or less. Right, that's the idea. Yep. This is why music is wonderful. You have a template and you make and you just evolve upon it. Yeah, I mean that's true for most composers. We sketch a lot of ideas. You know, I try not to do too many revisions because I like to stick with the ideas that are intuitive to me. But yeah, it's just normal. You have draft versions and you kind of, especially for games, you're changing things here and there, and then one change leads to another change and so on and so forth. It's a fun process for me. The two music terms mean nothing to me. Perfect. As I figured as much. You know, I'm going over a lot of people's heads on the music terms and things like that. Like, I just want to get weird all the time, and I have to. As I ask Falk, who is the audio director, I'm like, "Hey, dude, is this okay?" And he's usually like, "Yeah, go for it." I'm like, "Cool, sweet." Thanks, Falk. Thanks for enabling my going way too out there than I probably should in a video game soundtrack. This is good as it's tuned for its own style. I mean, fuck it. You know, I like to take ideas from other projects or other things in my life and, you know, put this towards someone else. So who knows? You might hear it somewhere else in another soundtrack. You never know. Also, by the way, Luna with Tuna, thank you for the follow. Wobbles and Milk 07, thank you for the follow. And now Prower, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah. Excuse me. Good. I'm glad to hear. Levi or Levi 193. Thank you for the follow. I mean that's how it's always been. I'm always over the top and just kind of making it happen. Leslie Snubs. Thank you for the follow. Yo, shout out to all these followers. Let's go. Let's go GameCube. Let's go GameCube. But yeah, that's kind of the nuts and bolts of everything going on here today. I can't imagine there's any other questions. And I know I'm around on Twitter. I'm around on Discord. Like if you go to my Discord and be like, James, what the fuck did you do here? I'd be like, this probably, hopefully. I hope I'm as smart as I sound. Yeah. So I've been booking all this stuff. So if you ever have questions for me as a producer, or like if you want to know like how the hell I did X, Y, and Z thing, or you know what I'm thinking, I'm available. I'm around. Would you ever break down some of your songs from Size 2 like this? I would love to actually. I'm gonna plan to do more of these. Absolutely. What songs were you thinking? But yes, I would love to do that. If people tell me what songs they want to hear, I will absolutely do it. But yeah, this has been a really fun stream. We're clocking at almost 3 hours. God damn, I need to like drink like a whole pool of water now. I think Bowling for me is probably the best place to start because people love that song and also features Nikki. I like this song. Thank you, Nikki. I don't think she came through, but that's perfectly She's awesome. But yes, I have to go eat soon. I have to go drink soon. Drink water. So I'm gonna, yeah, I'll cover all of them if I, over time. Heat Ring, Stranger, I'll go through all of them. Fuck it. If people are down, I'll do it. Sorry, Prower. But good news though is I'm gonna do a VOD and I'm gonna try to upload this on YouTube as long as YouTube doesn't complain at me. But if you want to watch the VODs, I will absolutely cover that for you. No problem. But yeah, you guys have been awesome. I'm really glad I did this and I hope you all had a fun time. I sure did. Chat, you guys are one of the real chats, one of the good chats. Don't let any other Twitch streamer tell you otherwise. You're a good chat. But yeah, I'm gonna go chill out, and I actually have more work to do today. Ugh. But it's fine. Blame Falk. Falk is the reason I have more work to do. So blame him. But for now, I must go. I must go into the void and rest. So thank you all for coming. You guys are great. And as always, see you later, alligator. Oh shit, did I say that incorrectly? It's see you later, alligamer. Damn it, I'm really bad at my own ending tagline. Oh well. See you later, alligamers.